Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wildcat Basketball on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page and the NFHS Network. I'm David Warrington, coming to you live from Central City High School for tonight's boys and girls varsity basketball doubleheader between the visiting North Linn Lynx and your Central City Wildcats. And before we get started tonight, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending, and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Tri-Rivers West varsity basketball between the Lynx of North Linn and your Central City Wildcats. Back home tonight at Central City as the Wildcats welcome in the Lynx of North Linn. We'll take a quick preview here of both teams. First, taking a look at your Wildcats. They come into this game with a record of 8-4 on the year. After going on a 7-game winning streak earlier this year, which is believed to be the longest in school history, the Wildcats have now lost 3 of their last 4 against tough teams in Maquoketa Valley, Central Elkader, and East Buchanan. They did get a win a week ago against Edgewood-Colesburg, 44-35. The leading scorer for the Wildcats is Sarah Reed. The senior is averaging 16.7 points per game. She's followed by Bailey Weber as the sophomore is averaging 15.1 points per game. Weber's done a great job so far this year of stepping into her bigger role after playing off the bench as the sixth man a year ago. Reed is the leading rebounder on the team, averaging 9.5 boards per game. Natalie Noonan is close behind, pulling down 7.9 per night despite her 5'3" frame. Reed also leads in assists with 4.3 per game, steals at 2.5, as well as blocks at 1.6. Reed, the definition of a do-it-all player for the Wildcats. Taking a look at the Lynx, they come into this game with a record of 11-1 on the season and were ranked number 5 in the Class 1A IGH SAU poll released earlier this week. Their one loss so far this year came back in November against a very talented Denver team, 65-64 in just their second game of the season. Other than that stumble, they have been perfect, including a very impressive victory on the road against Springville this past Friday, 63-51. North Linn is led in scoring by a pair of talented sophomores. Cameron Kurt leads the way with a scoring average of 18.3 points, and she is followed by Macy Bogey, sitting at 13.3 points per night. A third player averages double figures scoring for the Lynx as senior Chloe Van Etten averages 11.7 points per night. Van Etten is also the leading rebounder for the Lynx, averaging 5.8 boards per contest. Kurt leads in assists with 5.1 per night, as well as steals with 3.6. Ellie Flanagan leads the team in block shots. She blocks 1.1 per night. The Lynx also rank in the top 5 in the state in several team statistics, most notably sitting at second in points per game. They score 70.8 points per night. The Lynx swept the season series a year ago, winning the matchup in Troy Mills 70-50, and they also got the win when they came to Central City last year. Just an 11-point game, pretty well played game by the Wildcats. They lost that one 63-52. So we're down about 6 minutes and 15 seconds before tip-off here between the Lynx and the Wildcats. Central City 8-4, North Linn coming in nearly perfect at 11-1. Their one stumble coming against a talented Denver team, which I believe competes in 2A. And that was just a 1-point game for the Lynx back at the beginning of the season. As the Wildcats are over to my right, they're wearing their home white uniforms with the black trim as well as their black shooting shirts. I believe it's Coaches versus Cancer night as they've got black t-shirts with the Coaches versus Cancer logo on them. And then over to my left, we have the Lynx of North Linn wearing their maroon visiting uniforms with black and white trim as well as their white shooting shirts with the black and maroon trim. Taking a look at how both teams have gotten to this point. First, for the Wildcats, they lost their season opener against Springville 71-27, and then went on a huge 7-game winning streak, defeating Prince of Peace, Cedar Valley Christian, Midland, Calamus-Wheatland, Easton Valley, Alburnett, and Starmont in that streak. And the closest game in that streak was a 10-point win against Alburnett, 52-42. There were a lot of blowouts in there, such as the 55-14 win over Cedar Valley Christian and the 51-25 win against Starmont. But since then, they've lost 3 of their last 4. At Maquoketa Valley, they lost 43-42. At Central Elkader, they lost 60-45. Back home against Edgewood-Colesburg, they got a win 44-35. And this past Friday at East Buchanan, they took a loss 67-49 to a pretty good Buccaneers team. Season opener at Alburnett 71-24, then lost in a special Saturday tournament game at Kirkwood against Denver 65-64. They've been perfect ever since, defeating Midland 73-21, Marquette Catholic 69-28, Cedar Valley Christian 69-11, Prince of Peace 88-48, Cal Wheat 76-42, Starmont 72-17, Maquoketa Valley 60-35, Edco 84-43, East Buchanan 60-49, and Springville 63-51. So just a couple games in there you could really even consider being close. Against East Buck, they won by 11, and at Springville, they won by 12. Other than that, they've had their one-point loss and have been dominant. It'll be a big challenge tonight for the Wildcats. And now taking a look at the standings in the Tri-Rivers West. The Starmont Stars are at 0-6 in the conference. They're followed by Edgewood, Colesburg, and Alburnett at 1-5. Central City's next at 3-3. Maquoketa Valley and East Buck are both 4-2. Springville is 5-1, and in first place in the Tri-Rivers West Conference is North Linn. They sit at a perfect 6-0. And building off of that, here are the games tonight in the Tri-Rivers Conference. Starmont will travel to Edgewood to take on the Vikings of Edgewood Colesburg. East Buchanan's and Alburnett taking on the Pirates. Of course, the Lynx are here in Central City. And then Springville travels over to Delhi. They've got a matchup with the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats. So the Wildcats hoping for a win tonight. That would be quite the upset for Central City and would put North Linn at 6-1 in the conference. Wildcats would go to 4-3 and would take a nice step up. Maquoketa Valley likely to fall to 4-3 in the conference, while East Buck in all likelihood will improve to 5-2. Looking like they'll, on paper, should have a win against Alburnett. Of course, that's why you play the games. We'll see who comes out on top in these Tri-Rivers Conference matchups. Taking a look back at the end of last week on Friday, the most recent slate of Tri-Rivers Conference games. Central City traveled to East Buchanan where they fell to the Bucks 67-49. Maquoketa Valley hosted the Starmont Stars and got the win 39-22. Edgewood Colesburg hosted Alburnett and got the win 41-31. And then Springville hosted North Linn, and the Lynx of North Linn got the win over the Orioles 63-51. So there are your conference standings as we get set to go here in about 1 minute and 45 seconds. At that time, we'll meet our starting lineups, then we'll have our anthem, as well as our opening tip-off. Both teams getting their last couple shots up before we get things underway, and I'll take this chance to give another shout-out to Heartland Bank before we get things started tonight. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are. With our online and mobile banking apps, you have your accounts at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com, member FDIC. And as I finish up our shout out to Heartland Bank, both teams making their way over to the bench. And we'll meet our starting lineups in about 60 seconds before tonight's matchup between the Lynx of North Linn and the Central City Wildcats. Should be a good one tonight between Central City and North Linn, hoping the Wildcats can be competitive against the number 5 team in Class 1A in the state of Iowa. We'll meet our starting lineups here momentarily. When I do, I'll follow along with our PA announcer, Mrs. Hackman, to introduce our starting lineups. As we're about to meet our starting lineups here tonight between the Lynx and the Wildcats. Here are our starting lineups. For the Lynx, a 5'9" senior, number 21, Chloe Van Etten. For the Wildcats, a 5'3" senior, number 5, Natalie Noonan. For the Lynx, a 5'8" sophomore, number 25, Macy Bogey. For the Wildcats, a 5'7" senior, number 15, Hannah Kramer. For the Lynx, a 5'8" freshman, number 31, Molly Bogey. For the Wildcats, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Briley Brooks. For the Lynx, a 5'6" sophomore, number 35, Cameron Kurt. For the Wildcats, a 5'5" sophomore, number 23, Bailey Weber. For the Lynx, a 5'8" junior, number 55, Ellie Flanagan. And for the Wildcats, a 5'10" senior, number 25, Sarah Reed. Assistant coach for the Lynx is Kevin Godkin. Head coach is Brian Wheatley. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is Lisa Reed. Head coach is Al Fear. We'll take this chance, take a break for our national anthem. As always, a very nice rendition of our national anthem by Briley Brooks. And now it's time for Tri-Rivers West basketball between the Lynx and the Wildcats. One more time, your starters, it's going to be Van Etten, Bogey, Kurt, and Flanagan for the Lynx, Noonan, Kramer, Brooks, Weber, and Reed for the Wildcats. The Lynx will be wearing their traveling burgundy uniforms with white numerals and black and white trim. Wildcats wearing their home whites with the black trim as well as the red numerals and lettering. Wildcats will work left to right to begin tonight's contest. The Lynx will work right to left as we're about set to get tonight's contest underway. It'll be Reed jumping for the Wildcats, while it'll be Chloe Van Etten, the 5'9 senior, jumping for the Lynx. 8 minutes are on the clock, and we're just about set for basketball here from Central City. Ball's in the air, tip controlled by the Wildcats, and we're underway. Weber sends it over to Noonan, and the Wildcats will be in business first. Noonan has the top of the key, swings it over to Kramer on the left wing. Thinks about a screen from Reed, now hands it off to Brooks, dribbling to her right. She does use a screen from Reed, picks up her dribble over to Kramer on the left wing. Attacking the hoop, takes 2 steps, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebound is going to be secured by Van Etten, and the Lynx will go the other way. Lynx running the floor, over to Flanagan. She'll take a three-pointer from the right corner. It's going to be good as Ellie Flanagan gets tonight's scoring started. She hits a three from the right corner. Lynx lead at 3-0 with 30 seconds gone in the contest. Full court press being applied by the Lynx. Wildcats get across half court. Now Kramer in a little bit of trouble. Double team comes. Her pass is tipped, but ends up in the hands of Noonan. Now she's double teamed. Back to Brooks in the right wing, looking to get downhill. Nearly stolen, ends up back in the hands of Kramer. Ball's been all over the place so far this possession. Weber thinks about a 3 left wing. Now down low to Reed. Takes a couple hard dribbles, and she's going to be fouled as that will be on the floor. So no free throws, but that does go against the Lynx. Their first, as looks like they got Chloe Van Etten on the foul, her first. Team foul number 1. Wildcats will have it underneath their basket. Brooks is going to throw it in. As the other Wildcats all lined up at the free throw line. We've got a sub here early on as Skylar Benish will enter the game, and she will replace Molly Bogey. Brooks looking to get it in. Gets it into Reed in the short corner. Gives it back to Kramer, top of the key. Picks up her dribble over to Noonan on the left wing. Rejects the screen from Kramer, now brings it inside, out to Kramer in the left corner. Dribbling, attacking the hoop. Has it poked loose, it's going to be stolen away. That's Benish on the steal. She's got a clear path to the hoop, goes up with it, it's going to be blocked out of bounds. Bailey Weber catches up to her and knocks it out of bounds. Lynx will keep it after the block from Weber. Good hustle there by Bailey to get down there and make the defensive play. Lynx will throw it in under their basket as Kurt's going to throw it in. Bounce pass goes to Bogey, and she puts it in. That's Macy Bogey getting the bucket for the Lynx. Her first of the night. It's 5-0, 6:40 to go in the opening quarter. Reed kicks it over to Weber. They're trying to get it across half court. Lynx always known for their full court press. That one gets away from Weber, but she dives back on it. And it looks like she might be hurt as Coach Fear tried for a timeout, but to no avail as Kirk gets a wide open look under the hoop. It's going to be good. Cameron Kirk gets it to go. And we've got a timeout on the floor as Bailey Weber is going to exit the game with an injury. As Coletta Wade is going to replace Weber. The 5'9 sophomore making her first appearance in tonight's game. And now we've got a charge timeout against Coach Fear of the Wildcats. This looks like Noonan in a little bit of pain also, as Whitson will head over to the scorer's table to get her. So not the start you wanted if you're a Wildcat fan. 6:24 to go in the opening quarter of play. They trail 7-0, and 2 starters have already had to leave the game with injury. Whitson, the 5'2 sophomore, will replace Noonan. Take this opportunity to give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank, Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. Lynx break their huddle and come back onto the floor. They've got starters minus Molly Bogey plus Skylar Benish. Alongside her are Van Etten, Macy Bogey, Kurt, and Flanagan. Wildcats have Reed, Kramer, Whitson, Brooks, as well as Wade. Reed's going to throw it in for the Wildcats under the Lynx basket. Lynx applying the full court pressure, gets it into Brooks. Picks up her dribble, sends it ahead to Whitson. She'll dribble along the sidelines and be poked loose out of bounds by Kurt. It'll stay with the Wildcats. As now Brooks will throw it in front of the Wildcat bench. They still have to get it across half court. She gets it into Wade. Nice move to get across the timeline. Nearly loses the dribble. Now she does lose it. It's poking loose by Kurt. Ends up in the hands of Van Etten. The Lynx have it. Kurt's going to bring it up the floor for the Lynx, running the 1. Flanagan, open look from 3 on the way is good. Ellie Flanagan knocks down her second 3 already. This one from the left wing. She's got 6. It's 10-0. Brooks, bounce pass over to Reed. Loses it momentarily. Gets it back. Now right back to Brooks. Effective full court press so far from the Lynx. Nearly another turnover there, but the Wildcats get it back. Pass across the timeline. Goes to Brooks. Tries to get downhill. Picks up her dribble. Down low to Reed. Open left-handed layup is good as Sarah Reed gets the Wildcats on the board. Her first bucket. They still trail at 10-2. Kurt comes across half court. Nobody guarding her. She'll take a wide open 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Kramer. And the Wildcats get it back. Lucky miss there. She was wide open. Pass is stolen away. Benish comes up with the steal for the Lynx. She kicks it ahead to Bogey. Pass is tipped, stolen away by Kramer. She gives it right back to Reed. Brooks tries to go between her legs, loses it, now gives it back to Reed across half court to Kramer. Short corner to Whitson. Thinks about a pass down low. Now she's in a little bit of trouble. Gets it out to Kramer left wing. Uses a screen from Reed. Jump stop over to Brooks right wing. Nearly loses it back to Kramer on the right wing now. As she's dribbling to her left. Bounce pass over to Whitson, top of the key. Right back to Kramer. Fakes a butt pick handoff. Now does pass it over to Wade. Now back to Brooks right wing. Wildcats maybe trying to slow it down a little bit, trying to find a good shot. Reed has the top of the key. Takes one dribble. Long 2 on the way. It's going to be no good off front of the rim. Rebound secured by the Lynx. That's Chloe Van Etten. She kicks it ahead to Kurt. Into the corner. 3-pointer on the way from Bogey is good as Macy Bogey gets her second bucket, her first 3. It's 13-2. Pass down low to Wade. Out of her hands, and then Kramer couldn't secure it either. It'll be a turnover as a couple subs here for the Wildcats. Good to see Weber back in the game as came out with an injury a little bit ago, but she's back in, and also Lucy Smith making her first appearance in tonight's game. Lynx also had a few subs. Try to get that all sorted out as Ella Rees making her first appearance in tonight's game, as is Elise Ware. As the pass is nearly stolen there, now into the left corner to Rees. Brings it top of the key, and now back to Bogey. Into the corner to the other Bogey. That's Macy. Top of the key to Kurt. Now back to Molly Bogey. She was the other player checking into the game for the Lynx, making a re-entry. Pass is tipped, stolen away by Reed as she kicks it way down court to Weber. Has to hustle down there to get it. Nice job there by Bailey Weber to recover the pass. Goes up with it for 2. Her first bucket of the night. Wildcats trail it 13-4. Kurt running the 1 for the Lynx. Sends it over to Bogey. Now to the corner to Ella Rees. Top of the key to Macy Bogey. Now Molly Bogey has it. Dribbling left. Nobody picks her up. Now has her bounce pass tipped, stolen away by Reed. And she sends it ahead across half court to Brooks, but it's stolen away by Macy Bogey. Down low to the other Bogey. That's Molly. Now we got a kick ball violation. Reed got her foot in there. And it will remain with the Lynx. So we got a couple re-entries for the Lynx, as both Chloe Van Etten and Ellie Flanagan, both of whom started the game, will re-enter the contest for North Linn. North Linn basketball under their hoop as Molly Bogey, the 5'8 freshman, will throw it in. Weber going to be in her face, trying to be a pest. Looking for somewhere to go with it, having some trouble. Now just kicks it about 2 feet ahead of her to Van Etten. Van Etten working down low, takes a step through move. It's no good, but she is fouled, and Chloe Van Etten will go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws for the Lynx. We'll see who the foul was on. And looks like it was Reed, which is not surprising. She was the one guarding Van Etten down low. It's going to be her first foul. Team foul number 1 against the Wildcats, as Van Etten goes to the line to shoot a pair for the Lynx. First one on the way is going to be good. Takes a couple bounces and goes through the hoop. First point of the night for Van Etten. She has a chance for one more. 3.5 to go in the opening quarter. Wildcats trail at 14-4. Second free throw from Van Etten is perfect. She's got 2. It's 15-4. Inbounds pass goes to Weber. Jump stop back to Reed. She's double teamed. Kicks it ahead across half court to Weber. And now the Wildcats will look to reset in the half court into the corner to Smith. She's dribbling up. Hands it off to Weber right wing. Down low to Reed. Takes a hard dribble, puts it up. It's going to be no good. Maybe partially blocked in there by Ware. As the Lynx have it now, Molly Bogey ahead to Flanagan. She's attacking the hoop, picks up her dribble. Out to Bogey. Three-pointer from the right wing is going to be no good. Rebound up in the air, tipped, secured by Reed. Wildcat basketball. Kick ahead pass to Weber. Running in the full court. Takes 2 steps. Goes up with it. It's good and 1. As Bailey Weber gets the basket to go in, takes the contact. She'll go to the line for a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play. That was the second team foul against the Lynx. It went against Ellie Flanagan. That's her first, as Hannah Kramer re-enters the game for the Wildcats, replacing Lucy Smith. We've also got Skylar Benish, and I believe it was also Macy Bogey re-entering the game for the Lynx. Weber going to the free throw line for a chance at 1. Free throw on the way is going to be no good off back iron. Too strong, rebounded by Flanagan. Our score remains 15-6. That pass is tipped. Weber comes up with it. It's 3-on-2, and now she'll just pull it out to slow things down. Brooks, top of the key, dribbling to her right. Looking to attack the hoop, goes up with it. It's going to be no good, but there is a foul. I believe the referee is signaling on the floor. Took the bump and then went up. Don't think she's getting free throws here, but that will be the third team foul called against North Linn. It will go against Skylar Benish. That's her first. Wildcat basketball underneath their own hoop. Brooks to throw it in. Gets it into Weber on the right wing. Now right back to Brooks in the right corner. Attacks baseline. Bounce pass to Wade. Goes up with it. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Flanagan. And the Lynx going the other way. 2.5 minutes to go in the first. Macy Bogey back to Flanagan left wing. Mid-range jumper on the way from Van Etten is no good. Offensive rebound by Bogey. Goes back up, but it's no good. But she is fouled. And it'll be Macy Bogey going to the free throw line for North Linn. They got the foul on Briley Brooks. It's going to be her first foul. Team foul number 2. As the 5'8 sophomore Macy Bogey goes to the line for a chance at 2. First one on the way is good. She's got 6 on the night, and she'll have a chance for one more. Bogey getting set to attempt her second free throw. That one on the way is good. It rattles home. 7 points for Bogey. North Linn leads at 17-6. Wade has her pass tipped, picked up by Kramer. Down low to Brooks. Dribbles around, puts it up. It's blocked by Flanagan as she secures the rebound, and she'll look to run in the full court. Kicks it down to, looks like either Bogey or Kurt. It was about halfway in between both of them, and they weren't sure who it was supposed to be for, so a little miscommunication there for the Lynx results in the turnover. And Wildcats get it back. Weber inbounds it to Brooks. And her pass is too tall for Reed as it's stolen away by Benish. Three-pointer on the way from Kurt is no good off back iron, rebounded by Bogey. Down low to Van Etten. Her shot's no good, and Wade secures the rebound for Central City. Reed kicks ahead to Kramer, crossing half court, guarded right away by Benish. Now the double team comes. That pass is going to get into the backcourt. No Wildcats hustling after it at first. That results in Kurt picking it up, taking one hard dribble, has it swatted away by Brooks as she was able to get down there and knock that one out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Brooks to recover and make the play. Got a minute 46 to go in the opening quarter. Wildcats trail at 17-6. North Linn basketball under their own hoop as the inbounds pass goes to Kurt. Guarded by Weber, now gets it out to Benish. She'll take the open look from the right wing. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Weber. And she'll run it for the Wildcats. Picks up her dribble, throws it across half court to Brooks on the left wing. Dribbling to her right. Hands it off to Weber on the right wing. Now over to Wade, hands it off to Reed in the high post. Reed turns around, goes up with it. Tough left-handed layup's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by Van Etten. Pass ahead to Kurt. Looking to get downhill. Thinks about a jumper, now attacks the hoop, puts it up. It's going to be good. Nice take there by Cameron Kurt to get to the basket. She's got 4. Our score 19-6. Weber over to Reed. We've got a minute to go in the opening quarter as Reed kicks it across half court to Weber. She got a one-on-one look at the hoop. Now tries to get a pass in there to Wade. It's stolen away by by Bogey. As now Flanagan's going to run it in the full court for the Lynx. Kicks it ahead to Kurt. Thinks about a corner three. Now picks up her dribble. Flanagan, three-pointer on the way, is going to be good as she can't miss from three. She's got 9, all three-pointers so far for Flanagan. She's 3 for 3. As Reed sends it across half court to Brooks. She's got an open look at the hoop. Now Flanagan comes. That is going to be blocked by Flanagan. Rebounded by Brooks. She goes back up at Flanagan. Blocks it again. This time gets a rebound. As she crosses the timeline. Out of bounds. Last touch by Benish. It'll be Wildcat basketball as Natalie Noonan is going to re-enter the game. Good sign. She came out with an injury earlier, but she's back in. She'll replace Brooks. As we have Elise Ware and Ella Rees re-entering the game for the Lynx. Sarah Reed inbounds it to Brooks. 25 seconds to go in the opening quarter. As Reed sends it over to Noonan, and she kicks it across half court to Weber. Picks up her dribble left wing. Now has her pass tipped, stolen away. Bogey sends a pass over to Kurt. She'll go up with it, and it's good as Cameron Kurt finishes inside. She's got 6. We've got 5 seconds to go in the opening quarter. 4 seconds on the clock. 3. Pass across half court to Reed. She'll take the long 3. It's blocked by Reeves, and that will be the end of the opening quarter of play. Through one quarter of basketball here from Central City. Our score, North Linn 24, Central City 6. So Lynx start fast and don't really slow down in that opening quarter as they put 24 points on the board and they lead it by 18. Flanagan had 9 in that opening quarter, all via the three-point shot. Macy Bokey had 7. Cameron Kurt had 6 and Chloe Van Etten had 2. For the Wildcats, Bailey Weber had 4 and Sarah Reed had 2 to round out the Wildcats scoring in that opening quarter. It'll be Lynx basketball to begin the second quarter as the possession arrow points to the left, so it'll be North Linn ball as they'll get a chance to have it to begin our second quarter of play. Again, these Lynx 11-1 in the year. Their one loss coming to a very talented 2A school in Denver as they played that one at a Saturday tournament at Kirkwood Community College in Cedar Rapids. They lost that one by just a point, and they have been perfect ever since. Lynx ball to begin the second quarter. The Wildcats have Noonan, Weber, Kramer, Brooks, and Reed. Lynx going with Flanagan, the Bogies, Van Etten, and Kurt. Same 5 that started the game as Flanagan throws it into Kurt, and we're underway in quarter number 2. Kurt crossing the timeline, guarded by Weber. Set play being run by the Lynx. Ends up in an open three-pointer from the corner for Bogey. It's no good. Rebound is going to go out of bounds. Last touched by the other Bogey. And it'll be Wildcat basketball. Molly on the shot. Macy on the tip. Central City ball as Kramer sends a bounce pass over to Weber. As the Wildcats still looking to figure out this North Linn press. They get it across there as Noonan has it. Over to Brooks, left wing, attacking the hoop. Picks up her dribble, down low to Reed. Goes up with the shot. It's going to be good as Sarah Reed gets her second bucket of the night. Wildcats trail at 24-8, 7.5 to go in the second quarter. Kurt sends it ahead to Molly Bogey. Now Flanagan right wing, guarded by Kramer, uses the screen, picks up her dribble. Into the corner to Bogey, fakes the shot, and they're going to get her for a traveling violation. As Molly Bogey is going to be whistled for shuffling her feet there. Wildcat basketball underneath the Lynx basket. Weber will throw it in for Central City. Inbounds pass goes to Brooks as she picks up her dribble. Bounce pass over to Reed, still not across half court. Pass going to be stolen away by Bogey. That's Macy on the steal. Over to Flanagan. She'll think about a 3 and now sends it down low to Bogey. Her left-handed layup is going to be good as Bogey's got 9. Tied for the team lead for North Linn. They lead it 26-8. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Weber's going to spot it for a three-pointer. That's going to be too long. Rebounded by Reed. Her putback is good. As Sarah Reed gets the bucket to go, she's got 6. Wildcats trail it by 16 here, 26-10. Kurt has the top of the key, looking to get downhill. Fakes the mid-range jumper, now gives it over to Van Etten. Pass down low, intended for Bogey, is out of bounds, and it'll be Wildcat basketball as looks like Lucy Smith and Coletta Wade will re-enter the game for Central City, replacing Kramer and Brooks. Weber's going to throw it in for the Wildcats. Lynx still in their full court press. Inbounds pass goes to Noonan as she skips it across half court to Reed. Attacking the hoop. They've got numbers. She stops, pulls up, and it's good as Sarah Reed finding their touch now. She's got 8, 26-12 our score. As Kurt's attacking the hoop, kicks it out into the corner to Bogey. Her three-pointer on the way is going to be no good. It was halfway down, bounces out. Van Etten gets the rebound. It's blocked by Reed, but they're going to get a foul. And Van Etten will go to the free throw line to shoot a pair for the Lynx. Believe they got that one on Brooks, I believe was the indication from the official. Nope, correction, that's going to be on Bailey Weber. Just her first. Team foul number 3 as the first free throw is on the way from Van Etten and good. It's her third point of the night as Belle Whitson will re-enter the game for the Wildcats. Weber's going to go over to the bench for a breather. Both teams have 3 fouls as Van Etten gets set to attempt her second free throw. That one on the way is going to be good, so she makes both. 4 for 4 from the line is Van Etten. That's where all 4 of her points have come from. As Noonan gets it across half court for the Wildcats. And they're going to get a foul on, I believe, that was Molly Bogey. The freshman going to get whistled for the foul there. As it'll be Wildcat basketball from the sideline in front of the home fans. As that was the 4th team foul called against the Lynx. And the first against Molly Bogey. Inbounds pass goes to Noonan. Now over to Whitson, left wing. Has it poked loose out of bounds off of Kurt. So it will stay with the Wildcats. They'll throw it in again, this time in front of the Lynx bench. As Whitson will throw it in for the Wildcats. Whitson gets it into Wade, top of the key. Looking to get downhill. Has it stolen away by Flanagan. As we got a 3-on-2 fast break. Gives it over to Kurt. That's Bogey. Takes a couple hard dribbles. It's good. As Noonan tried to take a charge, they gave her the block to Noonan instead. As Macy Bogey gets the basket to go, she's in double figures with 11, and she'll go to the line for 1. That was against Natalie Noonan, her first team foul number 4. As we'll have Elise Ware and Ella Rees re-entering the game for the Lynx. Molly Bogey will exit, as will Ellie Flanagan. 30-12 our score, as we have Macy Bogey at the line to shoot 1 after taking the contact and putting the basket in. That free throw's too strong, no good, rebounded by Reed, as the Wildcats will run it the other way. Reed picks up her dribble. Now pass intended for Noonan is going to be just saved by Whitson. Good hustle by the sophomore to go get it. She sends it over to Reed. Dribbling to her left, pull-up three-pointer from Reed on the way is going to be good off the glass. The bank is open this Tuesday evening as Reed knocks in the 3. She's in double digits with 11. It's 30-15. Kurt has the top of the key, guarded by Whitson. Use a screen from Van Etten. Bounce pass to Bogey, short corner, puts a floater up. It's going to be no good. Rebound fought for. Wade in there trying to get it. Van Etten also in there as we have, looks like, out of bounds called against Van Etten as she was diving out of bounds to try to get the ball. It'll be Wildcat basketball as Weber re-enters, replacing Noonan, who will get a breather. Wade's going to throw it in for Central City. Gets it into Reed. As the Wildcats will have it in the full court. Reed sends it across the timeline to Weber. Now over to Wade. Bounce pass down low to Smith. Right back to Wade. Goes up with it. It's going to be good off the glass as Coletta Wade puts her name in the scoring column. It's 30-17. 5 minutes to go until the half. Reed has a left wing into the corner to Bogey. Dribbling up, uses a screen from Van Etten. Now down low to Van Etten. Nice pick and roll there. Her shot's no good. She gets her own, or saves it, but it ends up right in the hands of Weber. And she gives it to Reed across the timeline. Now down low to Weber. She'll go up with it. Her shot is going to be no good. Unlucky roll there as the rebound is secured by Rees. Gives it over to Kurt, who will cross the timeline for the Lynx. Kurt guarded by Weber, looking to get downhill. Nice drive by the sophomore. Bounce pass over to Van Etten. Fakes the mid-range jumper. Back out to Ware. Now to the corner of the Bogey. She'll take a three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Reed. And the Wildcats have it back. They trail by 13. Kick-ahead pass goes to Whitson. Picks up her dribble. Now Reed top of the key. Takes a 3. Straight on is good as Sarah Reed knocks in another three-pointer. She's got 14, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Wildcats have made this one very much a game again. 30-20 our score. Remember, they trailed 24-6 after the first quarter here with 4:12 to play before the half. They've cut the lead to just 10. Nice run by the Wildcats as Sarah Reed has 14 of the Wildcats' 20 points. Weber has 4, and Wade has 2. Reed's hit a couple three-pointers the last few possessions. Those have been huge in getting the Wildcats back into things here after it looked like this one was on the brink of becoming a complete blowout. Instead, the Wildcats have it to just a very manageable 10 points. We'll see if they can keep up the run here as the Lynx will have it coming out of the timeout. Inbounds pass goes to Kurt, and she'll bring it up for North Linn. The Lynx, the 5th-ranked Class 1A team in the state. As Kurt attacks the hoop, gives it over to Rees on the right wing. Back to Kurt, using a couple screens. Nice move there as gets it into the corner to Benish. She'll attack baseline, picks it up, Has her pass tipped, stolen away by Weber. Brooks is the one that originally got her hand on it. As Reed kicks it ahead to Whitson, it's going to be out of bounds off the foot of Ella Rees, so the Wildcats will keep it. As Natalie Noonan's going to re-enter for Central City, replacing Whitson. We've also got Molly Bogey and Ellie Flanagan re-entering the game for North Linn. 30-20, 3:49 to go in the second quarter. As Noonan gets it into the corner to Weber, she'll take a three-pointer. It's going to be long, no good, rebounded by Bogey. And she'll run it in the full court for the Lynx. Kicks it ahead to Kurt on the right wing, now over to Flanagan, top of the key. Back to Bogey, left wing, into the corner to Benish. Top of the key to Kurt, guarded by Weber, uses a screen. Now Kurt's attacking the hoop, nice move, puts it up to the left. It's going to be good, and the foul. As Cameron Kurt gets the bucket to go. She's got 8, chance to make it 9. She'll go to the free throw line for one shot. That's the 5th team foul against the Wildcats. It went against Briley Brooks. It's going to be her second. As Kurt gets set to attempt the free throw, that one on the way is going to be good. She's got 9, and now we will have Chloe Van Etten re-entering the game for the Lynx. She will replace Kurt, who goes to the bench. 33-20 as the Wildcats have it in the half court. Reed has the top of the key, now over to Brooks, looking to attack the downhill. Into the corner to Kramer, short corner now to Brooks. Thinks about a down low pass. Now he's going to send it over to Kramer on the right wing. Has her pass tipped and stolen away by Benish. Kicks it across half court. Bogey 2-on-1, puts it up, it's no good, but she's fouled. And Molly Bogey will go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws for the Lynx. We'll see who they got that one on. Looks like they got Bailey Weber on the foul. That's going to be her second. Team foul number 6. As Molly Bogey trying to get her name in the scoring column. Her first free throw is good. As a couple subs for the Lynx. Looks like we'll have Macy Bogey re-entering, as well as Elise Ware. Benish and Rees exit the game for North Linn. Bogey set to attempt her second free throw. That one on the way is going to be good as well. She makes both. She's got 2. Our score 35-20. North Linn with the advantage. Noonan crossing half court, gives it over to Weber. Now top of the key to Reed. She'll take a straight on three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Left it to the right. Rebounded by Noonan. Her putback attempt is no good. Looked like she took some contact, but no call. Down low to Bogey. Her left-handed layup is good, as she's got 13. Noonan crossing half court for the Wildcats. Gives it over to Kramer on the right wing. Dribbling to her right. Hands it over to Brooks. Has the top of the key. Picks up her dribble into the corner to Kramer. She thinks about a pull-up jumper. Instead gives it over to Brooks on the right wing. Now top of the key to Weber. Weber gives it to Reed. She's also at the top of the key. Now Brooks right wing. She'll take a three-pointer. That one's going to be long, out of bounds. Nobody touched it after Brooks shot the ball. So it'll be Lynx basketball. 37-20 our score. 2:19 to go until the half. As Molly Bogey will run the one for the Lynx. Bogey crossing half court. Gives it to Macy Bogey. Flanagan's going to take a three-pointer from the corner. It is good. Her 4-3 on 4 attempts. She's got 12. It's 40-20. Lynx on a 10-0 run. Weber has it. Now over to Brooks, left wing. Picks up her dribble. Now Weber has it on the right wing. She'll take a three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Noonan. And she's going to put it back up. It's going to be good. And the foul as Natalie Noonan gets in the scoring column. Her first bucket. And she'll go to the line for a chance at one more. As they got Molly Bogey on the foul. It's her second. Team foul number 5 against North Linn. Coletta Wade will re-enter the game for Central City. As it also looks like Kurt and Benish re-entered for the Lynx. So Noonan going to the line to shoot one for the Wildcats. Her free throw on the way. It's going to be no good off back iron. Rebounded by Van Etten as she kicks it ahead to Kurt. Running the offense. That pass nearly out of bounds. Ends up in the hands of Wade. She gives it to Reed, and Wildcats are back in business. Weber attacking the hoop. 3-on-1 down low. Puts it up. No good. Rebound is going to be secured by Ware, and they're going to get one of the Wildcats on a foul there after the rebound. As that will be a 1-on-1 for the Lynx. That was team foul number 7 against Central City. And that foul went against Bailey Weber. That's going to be her third. So she'll probably have to exit the game here as Belle Whitson comes over to the scorer's table. Referee's trying to get everything straightened out here. I was not entirely sure why Whitson wasn't allowed into the game, and now they do allow her in. as Weber will exit with 3 fouls. Now their referees having a discussion here as the player that was fouled is not the player at the free throw line, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was Elise Ware that was fouled, but Kurt is standing at the line. Hopefully we've got everything straightened out now. Reed is also, that's Sarah Reed and Coach Lisa Reed also trying to make the same argument I'm making, to no avail, as Kurt takes the free throw. It's going to be no good. And now we got a foul called against the Lynx. As the referees hopefully got it straightened out now, and that foul is going to go against Chloe Van Etten. Her second, team foul number 6 against the Lynx. They're one away from being over the limit. A minute and a half to go in the second quarter, 40-22 our score. Reed will throw it into Noonan as the Lynx have backed out of the full court press, still pressuring in the half court. Noonan has it right wing, gives it over to Wade. Hands it to Reed in the short corner. They're now dribbling down low, gives it over to Noonan right wing. Top of the key to Wade. Right back to Noonan. She'll attack the hoop. Over to Brooks. She'll take a three-pointer from the left wing. It's going to be too strong off the glass. Rebounded by Benish. She'll bring it across half court for North Linn. Has the top of the key. Over to Ware on the right wing. Attacking the hoop. Bounce past to Van Etten. Now back to Kurt. She fakes the three. Down low to Ware. She goes up with this, blocked by Whitson, but they're going to call a foul on Belle Whitson, as that's going to be her first, team foul number 8. And Elise Ware will go to the line for a pair of free throws. First free throw on the way from Ware is going to be no good. Too strong off back iron. Ellie Flanagan's going to re-enter the game for North Linn. Another player over there at the scorer's table, presumably getting Ware. Has to be, since she's not entering the game at this point. As Ware will attempt her second free throw. That one on the way is going to be good. She makes 1 of 2. She's got 1 point on the night, as now Ella Rees enters the game, replacing Elise Ware. 41-22 with just under a minute to go in the half, as Noonan brings it across half court over to Brooks. Has the top of the key, now over to Reed. Reed attacking the hoop. Over to Brooks, top of the key, dribbling downhill. Loses it for a second, goes up with it. Her wild shot's going to be no good. Nearly got it to go. It's going to be tipped out of bounds by Benish. It will stay with the Wildcats. Nice hustle there by Brooks, as she will throw it in. Wildcats stacking up there at the free throw line. As Brooks inbounds it to Reed in the right wing. Over to Whitson, left wing, attacking downhill. Now it takes a pull-up jumper. It's going to be no good. Rebound fought for, secured by Benish. 35 seconds to go in the half as Benish crosses the timeline. Over to Kurt. Attacking the baseline, goes up with it. It's blocked by Reed. Gets her own rebound, however. Her shot is good on the putback, as Cameron Kirk gets it to go. She's got 11. 43-22 our score, 20 seconds to go. Noonan has the top of the key. Over to Brooks in the left wing. Takes the dribble, has it poked loose, gets it back. Over to Reed in the high post. Turnaround jumper on the way from Reed is too strong, no good. Rebounded by Noonan. Down low to Reed. Takes one hard dribble, goes up with it. It's no good, but she is fouled. And now Sarah Reed will go to the free throw line for a pair of free throws for Central City. 5 seconds to go in the second quarter as Reed goes to the free throw line. That foul went against Ella Rees, her first, team foul number 7, as Reed knocks in the first free throw. Give her 15 in the night, chance to make it 16 here with 5 seconds till the half on this second free throw. That one on the way is going to be no good. Spins around and out, but Whitson gets the offensive rebound. Over to Reed. She goes up with her left hand. It's good, and she beats the buzzer as Sarah Reed misses the chance at one, but gets the layup to go. Nice finish of the half there for the Wildcats, as Reed gets very unconventional 3 points, makes the first free throw, and then gets it back off after the offensive rebound and puts in a layup. So through a half of basketball here from Central City, our score, North Linn 43, Central City 25. So here at the half, we'll take an opportunity to look at the numbers for both sides. First, looking at North Linn, not a whole lot of foul trouble for the Lynx in that first half, as Chloe Van Etten and Molly Bogey both had 2. They're both starters for the Lynx, but just 2. That's not really when you start getting worried about things. Once you get to 3, that's when you really start to get concerned. So nothing to really worry about for the Lynx in that department. We also have Skylar Benish, Ella Rees, and Ellie Flanagan each have 1 for the Lynx. Looking at the scoring output for North Linn, Macy Bogey led the way for the Lynx. She had 13 points to the sophomore. She was followed by Ellie Flanagan as the 5'8 junior hit 4 of 4 attempts from 3. She's quite the three-point shooter, put on display in that opening half as she had 12 points. Cameron Kurt had 11 points for North Linn to be third in scoring. Chloe Van Etten had 4, all came at the free throw line. Molly Bogey had 2, and Elise Ware had 1 point to round out the scoring for North Linn. For the Wildcats, the only real foul trouble is Bailey Weber with 3. She picked up her third foul there late in that first half. She'll have to be careful going into the second half. Make sure it doesn't get into 4 or 5 there early on. Also had 2 fouls against Briley Brooks, and then 1 each against Natalie Noonan, Belle Whitson, and Sarah Reed. Reed led the scoring attack for Central City. She had 17 of the Wildcats' 25 first half points. Some nice three-point shooting, also got it done in the mid-range and at the free throw line. Bailey Weber had 4 for Central City, and Natalie Noonan and Coletta Wade each had 2 to round out the scoring attack in the first half for Central City. So 43-25 our score, an 18-point advantage for the North Linn Lynx. Wildcats cut it to a 10-point game there early on in that second quarter. But then the Lynx went on an extended scoring run and got it back to this 18-point advantage they're enjoying right now at the halftime break. While we're at halftime, I'll go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. From your first checking account to your first car, first mortgage to retirement, and all the money matters in between, Heartland Bank people relate because they're your people. They are in your community, sitting beside you at the kids' games, working local fundraisers, and shooting the breeze at the grocery store. Start building the banking relationship of a lifetime with Heartland Bank, member FDIC. So as always, big thank you to Heartland Bank for all their constant support of Wildcat Sports. This broadcast would not be possible without them. Just can't say thank you enough to the great folks over at Heartland Bank. Some other games around the conference tonight in the Tri-Rivers West. Starmont is at Edgewood-Colesburg tonight. Looks like they had a 4 o'clock tip. East Buchanan is at Alburnett, and Springville is at Maquoketa Valley taking on the Wildcats. On the other side of the conference, over in the East, just 3 games as we've got Kalamazoo-Wheatland hitting the road to take on Cedar Valley Christian. Midland is in either Miles or Preston, not 100% sure which one, to take on the Easton Valley Riverhawks. And then Marquette Catholic on the road taking on the Prince of Peace Irish. About 6 minutes to go in the halftime break as the Wildcats trail the Lynx 43-25 after a half of basketball from Central City. Of course, that's a very talented North Linn team as they enter this game 11-1, ranked 5th in Class 1A. That one loss earlier in the season to a talented Denver team. Believe they are 2A. Now is a game the Lynx lost by only a point. Seeing if I can get an update here from the Springville-Midland game, as looks like Springville is broadcasting the game. Looks like they're early on in the game over in Delhi as there's about 5:55 to go in the opening quarter, and Springville leads Midland 6-0. So early on over there at Maquoketa Valley, Springville with a 6-0 lead. Don't forget, we'll have a boys contest coming up after the conclusion of the girls game. This is a boy-girl doubleheader as per usual, so North Linn will be the opponent for the boys later on this evening after the conclusion of our girls contest. Looks like the North Linn girls retaking the floor now as they exit the locker room. Probably not too much to discuss as they trail or lead by 18 with 4.5 minutes here until our halftime break concludes and we get back underway. Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for your Central City Wildcats, as well as what games will be broadcast here on Wildcat Sports. Central City travels to Springville to take on the Orioles this coming Friday, January 14th. I'll be on the call for that one. And then they return home on Monday, January 17th, as well as Tuesday, January 18th. They host Dunkerton on Monday in a non-conference matchup and then return to conference play against Albernet on Tuesday. I'll be on the call for both of those games as well. I believe I'll be joined by Jason McLaughlin on Monday and Friday, and then Cindy McCarthy will be with me on Tuesday. Then the Wildcats hit the road on January 21st to take on Starmont at a game the Wildcats won handily the first time around. They will then host Maquoketa Valley on January 25th. That's a game the Wildcats lost, I believe, just by a point the first time in Delhi. Then January 28th, they'll be in Edgewood against the Vikings of Edgewood-Colesburg. February 1st, the final home game against East Buchanan. And they will conclude their regular season February 4th in Troy Mills against these same Northland Lynx they're taking on tonight. So some good basketball coming up on the Wildcats schedule. Don't forget to tune in when the Wildcat Sports broadcast is on. Wildcat Sports broadcasts all home games as well as select road games will be on the call this Friday when the girls and boys are at Springville. And I believe we'll also be on the call a while from now on February 4th. Believe I'm on the call for that one when the Wildcats travel to Northland to take on the Lynx. So you can always tune in here on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page. Otherwise, you can watch the NFHS network if it is a home game. We do have the NFHS network set up and working, so you can always tune in on that. That is a paid service, of course. Otherwise, you can listen in on YouTube free of charge. Very happy to be able to bring you Wildcat sports all throughout the year. I've done quite a bit of football as well as basketball and a little bit of softball. Happy to be able to provide you with coverage of your Central City Wildcats if you can't make it out to a game. Down to about 2 minutes to go before we resume play for the second half, as both teams are now back on the floor. Wildcats over to my left, Lynx over to my right. Possession arrow favors the Wildcats, so they'll get it first once we get play back underway as they trail it by 18 here as we get set to start our second half in a little bit. Lynx now heading back over to the bench. Wildcats presumably will follow suit here shortly. And we'll get our second half of play underway from Central City between the Lynx and the Wildcats. With a win tonight, the Lynx would improve to a perfect 7-0 in conference play. And that would keep them in first place regardless of what happens around the conference. Wildcats currently in fifth place in the conference at 3-3. They're hoping to avoid falling to 3-4, but they'll need to come back to avoid that. They don't have a chance of falling further than fifth place, as Albernet and Edco are 1-5 and Starmont 0-6 behind them. Maquoketa Valley is 4-2, one spot in front of them. East Buck also sits at 4-2 in the conference. So the Lynx back out on the floor to begin the second half. As I believe they're going with the same five at the start of the game. Chloe Van Etten, Macy Bogey, Molly Bogey, Cameron Kurt, and Ellie Flanagan, the 5 for North Linn. For the Wildcats, Natalie Noonan, Sarah Reed, Belle Whitson, Briley Brooks, and Hannah Kramer. Weber on the bench to start the second half with 3 fouls. It'll be Wildcat basketball working right to left. Lynx will work left to right. Kramer throws it into Noonan, and we've got second half action underway from Central City. Noonan gives it over to Brooks on the right wing. Now dribbles in, picks up her dribble. Over to Kramer, left wing. Short corner to Noonan. Fakes the jumper, attacks the hoop. Nice take by Noonan. Has it partially blocked. Rebounded by Bogey. She kicks it ahead to Macy Bogey. 2-on-2 fast break. Kurt goes up with the right hand, and it's good. As Cameron Kurt's got 13. And the Lynx lead it by 20, 45-25. Brooks, right wing. Attacking the basket. Puts up a shot. It's blocked by Van Etten. Rebounded by Reed. Goes back up with it. It's going to be good as Sarah Reed gets another bucket to go. She's got 19 on the night. It's 45-27. Kurt top of the key. Now Flanagan left wing, guarded by Kramer. Uses a screen from Van Etten. Into the corner to Bogey. She'll take a three-pointer from the right corner. It's going to be good as Molly Bogey hits her first 3 of the night. She's got 5, 48-27. As Noonan crosses the timeline, hands it off to Brooks. Bounce pass to Reed, top of the key. She's double-teamed right when she touches it. Now over to Brooks, attacking downhill. Nice bounce pass inside to Whitson. Her layup is too strong, no good. As Bogey will bring it up, bumped by Noonan. They're going to call Noonan for a foul there, as that'll be Natalie's second foul, team foul number 1 of this second half against either side. And it'll be Lynx basketball in front of the Wildcat fans as Bogey there inbounds it to Kurt. She's guarded by Whitson, top of the key, dribbling to her right. Gives it over to Bogey, but it's too far out of her reach, out of bounds, and Noonan wisely lets it go, as it'll be Wildcat basketball. Noonan going to throw it into Reed. 6:43 to go in the third quarter. 48-27 our score, as Reed gives it right back to Noonan. She'll run the one for Central City. Noonan hands it off to Brooks. Over to Whitson in the left wing. Now Kramer left corner, dribbling to her right. Now over to Noonan, top of the key. Thinks about a three. Takes one hard dribble inside to Whitson. Her layup is going to be no good. Too strong. Rebounded by Flanagan. Flanagan ahead to Kurt. Kurt looking to get downhill. Nice take, but she's going to be tripped up, as I think they're going to get Reed for the call. She wasn't moving, but Kurt tripped over her. They're actually going to get the foul on Whitson, so the foul is not against Reed. That'll be the Wildcats' second foul. Second foul against Bell Whitson. And Kurt will be at the free throw line for a pair of shots for North Linn. Kurt has 13 on the night, misses the first, so it'll stay there. She's in a little bit of pain, kind of limping a little bit after hitting the deck pretty hard there. She'll have a chance for one more at the line. Second free throw is on the way, no good, too strong off back iron. Rebound fought for, tipped out of bounds, last touched by Van Etten. She doesn't like the call, but it will be Central City basketball, as Whitson's going to throw it into Noonan. And the Wildcats will have it with 6:10 to go in the third quarter. Noonan guarded by Bogey. Now double team comes, picks up her dribble, has it tipped away and stolen by Macy Bogey. 2-on-1 fast break, jump stop, puts it up, it's good as Macy Bogey gets the bucket to go. She's got 15 on the night, as Noonan will bring it up for the Wildcats. Crossing half court, dribbling to her left, gives it over to Kramer. Picks up her dribble, top of the key, down low to Reed. Thinks about a mid-range jumper, over to Brooks. She fakes the three. Inside to Kramer, and they're going to get a foul against the Lynx. I think they got Van Etten for that one. That would be her third. Team foul number 1 against the Lynx. That is the case, as Chloe Van Etten was for her third foul. Team foul number 1. Coletta Wade and Bailey Weber enter the game for Central City. It'll be Ella Rees as well as Elise Ware checking in for the Lynx. Brooks and Whitson exit the game for the Wildcats. Wade to throw it in, gets it into Weber in the right corner. Down low to Noonan. Her pass is tipped, but Noonan does get it back. She's in the right corner in a little bit of trouble. Looking for somewhere to go with it, gives it over to Weber, standing at the W and the Wildcat logo along the sideline. Kramer dribbling around, now gives it over to Reed in the high post, uses the screen. Two-pointer on the way, is going to be short, no good, rebounded by Kurt. Kurt running in transition for the Lynx. Looking to get downhill, now over to Rees. She'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. It's going to be good as Ella Rees knocks down her first shot of the day. And the Lynx lead at 53-27. 5:10 to go in the third quarter. Kramer uses a screen from Wade, but loses the basketball, and it's going to be stolen away by Kurt. 2-on-2 fast break. Kurt attacking downhill, puts it up. It's going to be no good, too strong. Rebounded by Bogey. Her putback is good after rolling around for a while. Macy Bogey gets it to go. She's got 17, and the Lynx lead at 55-27. Noonan uses a screen from Wade. Now over to Kramer, top of the key, into the corner to Weber. She'll take a three-pointer on the way. That one is going to be no good. Rebound fought for, but out of the hands of Noonan to Van Etten. She kicks it ahead to Bogey. She'll look to regroup here, gives it over to Rees in the left corner, guarded by Kramer. Now Van Etten, high post. She thinks about the mid-range jumper. Now she takes it. It's too short off the front of the rim. Rebound secured by Bogey. Gives it out to Rees, top of the key. Now over to Kurt, dribbling to her left. Pull-up jumper on the way from Kurt is good as Cameron Kurt knocks down the jumper. Give her 15 on the night as Noonan crosses half court for the Wildcats. Gives it over to Weber, left wing, into the corner to Reed. She'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. It's going to be no good, just off the mark. Rebound secured by the Lynx. Van Etten throws it in. Kurt will run it in transition. 3-on-3 as she goes inside, puts it up and in. Another basket for Cameron Kurt, as we've got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Fear of the Wildcats. 30-second timeout to put a stop to the scoring run the Lynx were on. 3:58 to go in the third quarter. Our score, North Linn 59, Central City 27. That's a 32-point advantage for the Lynx of North Linn. Just 3 points away from that running clock going into effect as the Lynx have really taken control of this one. So 3:58 remain in the third quarter. Wildcats trail at 59-27 as both teams come back onto the floor. It'll be Wildcat basketball. Noonan throws it in from in front of the North Linn bench. As she gives it into Wade, who gives it right back to Noonan. She crosses half court for Central City. Noonan hands it off to Weber on the right wing. Uses a screen from Reed. Now gives it to Wade. Back over to Noonan on the right wing. Thinks about a three. Now down low to Reed. Goes up without a dribble, and it's good. Nice finish inside there by Sarah Reed. She crosses the 20-point threshold. She has 21 on the evening. Benish gives it over into the corner to Bogey. Flanagan top of the key. Now Reed's left wing. Benish thinks about a three. Now she will take it. That one high. Arcing shot's going to be no good. Rebounded by Lucy Smith, newly re-entered in the game for the Wildcats. She gives it over to Noonan, who crosses the timeline. Has it tipped, poked away, but Weber again ends up with it. Now Noonan has it back top of the key over to Weber left wing. Dribbling to her right. Wade top of the key over to Smith on the right wing. Uses a screen from Wade. Now back to Noonan in the right corner. Dribbling to her left, picks up her dribble. Weber has it left wing now. Wade sets the screen. Now over to Reed in the high post, back to Weber. She takes one dribble, puts up a three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebound secured by Molly Bogey. Lynx basketball across half court there to Kurt. She'll think about a three, now gives it over to Flanagan on the right wing. Now back to Kurt top of the key. Remember, Flanagan's 4 of 4 from three on the night. Can't give her an open look. Top of the key to Rees. Weber's there to guard her. Into the corner to Benish. Back to Bogey, now Kurt top of the key. Uses the screen, attacking the hoop. Nice move, fakes the pass, gets it up and in. Cameron Kurt gets another shot to go as she's got 19. Noonan hands it off to Smith, dribbling to her right. Now down low to Reed. Goes up without a dribble once again, and it's good. As Reed just keeps the offense coming. 23 for Sarah, 61-31 our score. Into the corner to Rees. As she gives it over to Kurt, she'll fake the three. Gets Noonan in the air. Nice take down low as her layup's no good. Tips around, ends up in the hands of Wade, who's got a foul on the floor. We'll see who they called for the foul. It's going to go against the Wildcats. I believe they got Coletta Wade for the foul. Correction, they got Lucy Smith. Her first team foul, number 3. As Briley Brooks will re-enter the game for Central City. A few subs for the Lynx as well as Macy Bogey re-entered alongside Van Etten and Ware. Molly Bogey will throw it in for North Linn underneath their own basket. Gets it into Bogey. No, stolen away by Noonan. And she has it poked loose, gets it back, gives it over to Reed, and she crosses the timeline, gives it back to Noonan, top of the key. Dribbling to her left. Short corner to Smith, fakes a mid-range jumper over to Noonan, or excuse me, to Brooks. Now over to Weber, top of the key. Bounce pass to Noonan on the right wing. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Tried to get it into Reed, but couldn't do so. Now gives it over to Weber, top of the key. Brooks, left wing. Pass inside to Reed. Takes one hard dribble over to Smith. Her layup is blocked by Flanagan. Out of bounds as the Wildcats will keep it after the emphatic block there by Ellie Flanagan. 1:26 to go in the third quarter. Lynx lead it by 30, 61-31. Brooks to throw it in, gets it into Weber. Top of the key. She'll pull up for a three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebound tipped around, ends up in the hands of Van Etten. She gives it ahead to Macy Bogey, one-on-one at the rim. Bogey goes up with it. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Reed. Nice transition defense there from Weber. As Reed gives it across the timeline to Weber on the right wing. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Brooks, left wing. Dribbling to her right. Down low to Reed. Takes a couple hard dribbles. Goes up with it. Her floater is good. Tough move inside by Sarah Reed. She gets it to go. She's got 25 of the Wildcats 33. And the Lynx need a timeout. Coach Wheatley calls it as nobody was back there to take the inbounds pass for North Linn. It's like that's just going to be a 30-second timeout. We've got 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Our score, North Linn 61, Central City 33. So Reed has clearly led the way for the Wildcats tonight. Of the 33 points, she has 25. Weber has 4. Wade and Noonan both have 2. Both teams back on the floor as the Lynx will have it. 90 feet from the basket. Benish will throw it in. She does so to Kurt. And the sophomore will run the one for North Linn with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Crossing the timeline, guarded by Noonan. Over to Van Etten, top of the key. Now swings it over to Benish on the left wing. Hands it off to Kurt. Uses a couple of screens. Nice pass inside, tipped around. It's going to be stolen away by Noonan. Gives it to Smith, and she gives it to Brooks. Will bring it across the timeline for the Wildcats. 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Brooks attacking the hoop. Picks up her dribble. Sends a pass over to Weber. She has to go up in one-handed, but she does so. Gives it over to Noonan at the volleyball line with 22 seconds to go in the quarter. Weber has the top of the key. Uses a screen from Reed over to Brooks. Takes a dribble, puts it up. It's going to be no good. Almost went through on the opposite end of the hoop, but she is fouled. So Briley Brooks will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws for Central City. As I think they got Macy Bogey. Nope, it's actually going to be Elise Ware on the foul. That is her first, team foul number 2. As Brooks goes to the line for a pair of free throws for the Wildcats. First one's no good, too strong off back iron. And she'll get a chance for one more with 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. Second free throw from Brooks is on the way. That one's no good as well. That one was also too strong, and Ware secures the rebound. 10 seconds for the Lynx as Ware gives it to Bogey in the corner. Now top of the key to Benish. Left wing to Kurt, dribbling to her right. Top of the key to Bogey. 2 seconds, 1 second on the clock. Bogey puts it up right before the buzzer. It's no good, too strong. As that will bring us to the end of 3 quarters of basketball. And our score, North Linn 61, Central City 33. The Lynx out to the 61-33 advantage going into our fourth quarter of play. 8 minutes left in our game. As Reed has led the way for the Wildcats. She has 25, followed by Weber with 4. Wade and Noonan both have 2. For the Lynx, it's been Cameron Kurt with 19 to lead things, followed by both Ellie Flanagan and Macy Bogey with 12. Chloe Van Etten has 4. Molly Bogey also has 5. Then Ella Rees has 3, and Elise Ware has 1. Lynx basketball to begin the fourth quarter. Wildcats going to start it with Reed, Kramer, Brooks, Weber, and Noonan. As the Lynx break their huddle and come onto the floor, they're going to go with the Bogies, Kurt, Flanagan, and Van Etten. Same 5 that started the game out there for the Lynx, as they'll have it to begin our fourth quarter. Inbounds pass goes to Kurt. We've got fourth quarter basketball underway from Central City. Kurt has it left wing, guarded by Noonan. They're running a set play here as nice pass down low to Kurt. Another nice pass there to Van Etten. Another pass over to Bogey, but she can't get it to go. As that pass is tipped, ends up in the hands of Noonan, and she crosses the timeline for the Wildcats. Hands it off to Kramer. Attacking the hoop, now gives it over to Noonan. She'll fake the 3, dribbling to her right, looking to get downhill, picks it up. High post to Reed, swing pass over to Weber on the right corner. Now back into Reed. Fakes the jumper over to Kramer. She'll take the mid-range jumper. That one on the way is good. Nice bucket there by Hannah Kramer to enter the scoring column. She's got 2. It's 61-35 with 7:15 to go in the game. Kurt uses a screen from Van Etten. Attacking the hoop. Nice pass over to Flanagan, but it gets tipped. Now Van Etten high post. One hard dribble. Pass tipped around. Ends up in the hands of Bogey. Back to Flanagan. And Molly Bogey in the left corner, attacking baseline. Over to Van Etten. She'll take the mid-range jumper. It's going to be no good. Too strong off back iron. Rebound secured by Noonan. Noonan crossing the timeline for the Wildcats. She hands it off to Kramer on the left wing. Left corner to Noonan. Fakes the 3. Now inside to Reed. She'll take the mid-range jumper. That one is good as Reed gets back in the scoring book. Give her 27 in the night. It's 61-37. 6.5 minutes to go in the game. Into the corner to Macy Bogey. Use the screen from Van Etten. Other corner to Molly Bogey. 3-pointer on the way is good. Molly Bogey knocks down the long ball. She's got 8 as the Lynx extend their lead 64-37. Noonan has the top of the key over to Brooks. Dribbling left, gives it to Noonan on the left wing. Or excuse me, that's Weber. Into the corner to Brooks. She'll take a 3-pointer. That one on the way is going to be no good. Rebounded by Bogey. Kicks it ahead to Kurt. Attacking the hoop, one-on-one with Reed at the hoop, gets past her, but goes up with it. It's going to be no good as Brooks has a nice job of getting there to clear things out, but now we got a jump ball called as Kurt forces the jump ball. It will go in favor of the Wildcats as Wade checks back into the game for Central City, replacing Brooks. Ware and Rees re-enter for North Linn. Reed throws it in for Central City, gives it into Noonan. 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. As she brings it across half court, dribbling to her right, gives it over to Wade. Swings it over now to Kramer, and she hands it off to Weber on the left wing. Into the corner to Reed. She'll fake the three, attacking the hoop. Pull-up jumper from Reed on the way is no good, just off the mark. Tipped around, Reed gets it back. Putback attempt's no good. Gets her own rebound inside to Noonan, and her putback attempt is no good as well. And Van Etten secures the rebound. Kick-ahead pass goes to Kurt. Picks up her dribble, now over to Bogey. High post to Van Etten. Thinks about a jumper, now back to Bogey. Rees has it right wing into the corner. As that's Ware attacking down low, gives it to Van Etten. Pass is stolen away by Noonan. Nice hands there by Natalie to get in there and take it away. Kick-ahead pass goes to Weber. As she'll take the three-pointer. That one on the way is going to be short. Just nicked the front of the rim. Rebounded by Wade. And she is fouled as her putback attempt is good. And Coletta Wade will go to the line for a free throw for Central City. That foul goes against... We'll see who the foul is against. It was against Ella Rees of the Lynx, her second. Team foul number 3. 5 minutes to play as Wade will go to the line to shoot one free throw for Central City. Smith also checked in for the Wildcats as the free throw is going to be no good. Rebounded by Bogey as she'll bring it up for the Lynx. Kick ahead pass goes to Kurt in the left wing. Over to Bogey. Now short corner to Benish. Top of the key to Kurt. Guarded by Noonan. Fakes the three. Now attacking the hoop. Benish, three-pointer from the right corner on the way is going to be good. As Skylar Benish gets her first bucket of the night. 67-39 our score with 4.5 minutes to play. Noonan fakes the butt pick handoff. Now picks up her dribble. Top of the key to Smith. Inside to Reed. Nice down low pass to Noonan, but a little too high. Stolen away by Benish. And she'll cross the timeline for the Lynx. Into the corner to Kurt. Open look. Cameron Kurt three-pointer is good. As the sophomore knocks in another. She's got 22 on the evening. Noonan hands it off to Weber on the left wing. High post to Reed. Back to Weber. Thinks about a three. Thinks better of it. Gives it over to Wade. Top of the key. And we've got a timeout called by Coach Fear of the Wildcats. That's going to be a full 60-second timeout. 4:01 to go in the game. Lynx lead it 70-39. Well, I've got a break in the action. I'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. The Wildcats break their huddle and come back onto the floor. They've got Weber, Smith, Reed, Wade, and Noonan on the floor, do the Wildcats. Lynx about to break their huddle as well, leading 70-39 with 4:01 to play. They have Benish, Rees, Flanagan, Kurt, and Molly Bogey. Wildcat ball under their own hoop. Reed will throw it in, all the other players in a box set. As the inbounds pass goes to Weber, now over to Wade. Short corner to Reed. She'll take the mid-range jumper. It's going to be no good off front of the rim. Rebounded by Bogey as she sends it over to Kurt. Trying to get downhill again. Puts it up. It's no good. Rebounded by Reed. And she'll bring it up for the Wildcats. Reed across half court to Weber. Wide open three-pointer from Weber on the way is good as Bailey Weber gets a three-pointer to fall. Give her 7 on the night. It's 70-42. 3.5 minutes to play. Benish gives it over to Molly Bogey on the right wing. Top of the key to Rees. That pass is tipped. It's on the ground. 2 players going for it. Noonan gets there first, dives on it, and we've got a foul. It's going to go against the Lynx, as it sounds like they got Rees for the foul. I believe that'll be her third. Team foul number 4. As it'll be Wildcat ball. That was Rees' third foul. Inbounds pass goes to Wade. Now top of the key to Noonan. Back to Weber on the right wing. High post to Noonan. Her mid-range jumper is going to be no good. Reed picks up the offensive rebound. Fadeaway shot is no good. Rebounded by Rees. And she gives it to Bogey. As the Lynx will bring it the other way. Kick ahead pass goes to Flanagan. Takes one dribble. Thinks about a three. Now over to Van Etten. She attacks the hoop. Goes up with it. Her layup is going to be no good. Rebounded by Weber. Under 3 minutes to go in the game as Weber crosses the timeline for Central City. Weber gives it over to Noonan, top of the key. She's double teamed. Back to Weber. Thinks about the three, takes the open look. Three-pointer on the way from Weber's no good off back iron. Rebound tipped around, ends up in the hands of Noonan. She puts it up, no good, but she is fouled, as Natalie Noonan will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws for Central City. That foul went against Molly Bogey of the Lynx. It's going to be her third. Team foul number 5, as Noonan is at the line to shoot 2 for the Wildcats. First one on the way is going to be no good. Takes a hard bounce and out. She'll have a chance for one more. She's got 2 points in the night. A chance to make it 3 here. Second free throw from Noonan on the way. That one is no good. Did the exact same thing. It's tipped around, ends up in the hands of Rees. And Flanagan will bring up the floor for the Lynx. She has it left wing, top of the key to Benish. Now into the corner to Bogey. Bogey top of the key, uses the screen, inside to Rees. Takes a hard dribble, goes around Reed, puts it up and good. As Ella Rees gets her second bucket, she's got 5. It's 72-42, 30-point game with 2:20 to go. Weber has her pass stolen away, and Molly Bogey wide open pass to the hoop. She puts it up and in, as that's the easiest layup she'll get in quite some time. She's got 10 to enter double figures, as there'll be 4 in and 4 out, the next dead ball for the Lynx. Weber left wing, skips it across to Wade. Now mid-range jumper on the way from Smith is no good, rattles out. As Rees rebounds, gives it to Bogey. She kicks it across to Flanagan. High post to Van Etten. Now Rees down low, goes up with the layup, and it's good. Rees gets another bucket to go. She's got 7. We've got a timeout on the floor for subs, as we will have Megan Wheatley, Tegan Leby, as well as Kenzie Bridgewater and Allie Hoggenberry all entering the game for the Lynx. Benish will be the one that stays. Other than that, 4 in, 4 out for North Linn. A minute and a half to go in the game as Noonan kicks it over to Wade, left wing. Over to Smith, but Wade goes down hard, as I believe she was tripped. As she's back up to her feet. Gives a thumbs up to Beth, but they're going to have her come out of the game. So the Wildcats will have to sub somebody in here, and they do. Brooks will enter as Wade comes out of the game. Minute and a half to go in the fourth quarter. 76-42 our score, as Smith will throw it in, gives it into Noonan on the left wing. Kicks it over to Weber, top of the key, and out of the corner to Brooks. Passes tip, stolen away by Hoggenberry. She'll run the floor for the Lynx. Into the right wing to Wheatley. Into the corner to Benish. Now to Bridgewater, top of the key to Hoggenberry. Handoff goes to Bridgewater on the right wing, now down low. That's Leby working inside, kicks it over to Wheatley in the left corner. Now right wing to Benish. She'll take a three-pointer from the right wing. That's going to be no good. Rebound fought for, tipped around. Brooks tries to save it, but she steps out of bounds first. So we'll stay with the Lynx with 59 seconds to go in the game. Bridgewater will throw it in for North Linn. Her inbounds pass goes to Hoggenberry, and she'll dribble it top of the key for the Lynx. Jump stop, picks up her dribble. Down low to Bridgewater, gives it over to Wheatley, right wing. Now into the corner, and down low to Leby. Reed tips that one out of bounds, as it will stay with the Lynx. Quick hands there by Reed, force the ball to go out of bounds. Bridgewater to throw it in. Tries to get into Benish, but nice recovery from the Wildcats. That pass is tipped, stolen away by Brooks. She loses it, dives on the floor for it, and the ball rolls out of bounds. Now, I don't think the referees are quite sure who touched it. It'll be Wildcat basketball after some discussion. Brooks to throw it in with 38 seconds to play. Gets it into Reed. She'll take a three-pointer from the right wing. That is no good. Rebound is secured by Smith. Now Weber's going to take a three-pointer from the top of the key. That one is good. Bailey Weber knocks down her second three of the game. That puts her in double figures with 10. 76-45 our score, 24 seconds to go. Bridgewater has it right wing. Pass the tip, stolen away by Weber. She's got a 2-on-1 fast break. Goes up with it. Her shot is going to be good. Wild shot by Bailey Weber, but I think she tweaked her ankle. She's got 12. As Bridgewater crosses half court. She gives it over to Wheatley, short corner, dribbling to her left. 1 second left in the game as the buzzer sounds, and that's going to do it for our girls contest. Final score, North Linn 76, Central City 47. So the Lynx improved to 12-1 on the season, still haven't lost a conference game. or a Class 1A game for that matter, they move to perfect 7-0 in the conference. They will remain in first place. Wildcats fall to 8-5. I believe that puts them at 3-4 in the Tri-Rivers Conference. Let's take a look at some numbers quickly from this game. Cameron Kurt led the way for North Linn. She finished with 22. She was followed by Macy Bogey, who had 17. Ellie Flanagan had 12. Molly Bogey had 10. Chloe Van Etten had 4. Eloise had 8, had 7 for the Lynx. Skylar Benish had 3, and Elise Ware had 1. For the Wildcats, Sarah Reed led things. She finished with 27. Bailey Weber had 12. Coletta Wade had 4, and both Natalie Noonan and Hannah Kramer had 2 to round out the scoring for Central City. One more time, our final in the girls' game, North Linn 76, Central City 47. I'm going to take a quick break for about 5 minutes, and when I come back, we'll have pregame coverage for the Varsity Boys contest. So stay tuned. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball here on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page or the NFHS Network, wherever you choose to join us from tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. I'll be back in about 5 minutes for pregame coverage of the boys' matchup between the Wildcats and the Lynx of North Linn. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Wildcat Basketball on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page and the NFHS Network. If you're just tuning in for the first time, I'm David Warrington coming to you live from Central City High School for a girls and boys varsity basketball doubleheader between the visiting North Linn Lynx and your Central City Wildcats. The girls game just finished up about 5 or 6 minutes ago, and it was a tough one for the girls as the 5th ranked in Class 1A North Linn Lynx took it to Central City, winning by a final of 76-47. The boys contest is up next between Central City and North Linn. Taking a look at both teams, first for the Wildcats, they committed this game with a record of 3-9 on the year. They're on a hot they're got some momentum coming into this game, I should say, coming off an impressive victory this past Saturday in the Wells Fargo Advisors shootout at Coe College. They took down Columbus Junction 70-44. The Wildcats have been led in scoring so far this season by Makai Benton, as the sophomore averages 13.5 points per game. He's followed by the Closeman brothers. The freshman Matthew averages 10.8 points per night, while the sophomore Aiden averages 10.7. Benton is also the leading rebounder, pulling down 6.8 rebounds per night. Matthew Closeman is the leader in assists. The point guard dishes out 3.7 per night, and Aiden Closeman leads in steals at 2.3. The opponent tonight for the Wildcats will be North Linn, as the Lynx enter this game with a record of 10-1 on the year. They were shocked at home by Edgewood Colesburg in the last game before break back in December, 52-47. This was North Linn's first regular season Tri-Rivers Conference loss in 107 games. They had not lost a game to a Tri-Rivers opponent since a postseason loss to Alburnett in 2016, and they had not lost a regular season conference game since a loss to Easton Valley in 2014. However, they have bounced back nicely, picking up 2 dominant wins since, including a 76-48 beatdown of Springville on Friday. They were also ranked 3rd in the Class 1A in yesterday's poll from the Associated Press. The leading scorer for the Lynx is Austin Hilmer. The senior point guard averages 23 points per night. There are 3 other players that average double figures, as Tate Hoggenberry, Dylan Kurt, and Cade Hoggenberry average 16.4, 13.5, and 10.4 respectively. Cade Hoggenberry is the leading rebounder, averaging 6 per night. Hilmer is the leader in assists with 7.8 per night. That number is 3rd in the state regardless of class. He also averages 5.3 steals per game, which again is 3rd in the state of Iowa. The 2 matches between these teams a year ago were both dominant victories for the Lynx. North Linn won the game in Troy Mills by a score of 95-20, and the Lynx also took care of business in Central City, defeating the Wildcats 88-22. There's your preview and rundown on both teams entering tonight's game. Wildcats 3-9, the Lynx 10-1, ranked number 3 by the Associated Press in Class 1A, coming off their first regular season conference loss since 2014. Pretty sure I was in middle school back in 2014, so it's been quite some time. About 6.5 minutes to go before we get things underway, as I'll give a rundown on how these two teams got to their 3-9 and 10-1 records respectively. For the Wildcats, they were on a losing streak to begin the year, lost some close games, lost to Prince of Peace 57-54, Cedar Valley Christian 92-74, Midland 43-38, Calumet Wheatland 76-70, Easton Valley 68-27, and Alburnett 62-46. Then bounced back to win 2 of their next 3, defeated Starmont 57-25, fell to Maquoketa Valley 65-37, and defeated Central Elkader on the road 53-41. They then hosted Edgewood Colesburg, the team that beat North Linn just a couple short weeks ago. They lost that one 63-48. And then this past Friday, they traveled to Winthrop to take on East Buchanan. That one they lost the Buccaneers 58-28. And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, they took down Columbus Junction at Coe College in the Wells Fargo Advisors shootout this past Saturday. They won that one 70-44. Nice dominant win for your Wildcats at Coe College. For North Linn, other than the one stumble, they've been pretty dominant as they defeated Midland in the season opener 96-23. They took down Marquette Catholic 88-35, Cedar Valley Christian 94-47, Prince of Peace 100-23, Calumet Wheatland 82-35, Spring Grove 69-36, Starmont 117-28, Maquoketa Valley 97-40. Then came the game against Edco on December 21st, last game before break. They lost 52-47. But they've bounced back for wins over East Buchanan 77-24 and Springville 76-48. Taking a look at games around the conference on Friday, the last round of Tri-Rivers games. as East Buchanan hosted your Central City Wildcats. They came out on top 58-28. Springville hosted North Linn in a game that many thought would be close. It was not. North Linn won it 76-48. Edgewood Colesburg was shocked just a few short weeks after shocking North Linn. They were shocked in their own right by Albernet as the Pirates won that one 51-50. And then Maquoketa Valley hosted Starmont. No drama there for the Wildcats as Maquoketa Valley beat the Stars 81-18 in that game played in Delhi. And taking a look at the conference standings in the Tri-Rivers West, Starmont brings up the rear at 0-5. Then it's East Buchanan and Central City at 1-4. Maquoketa Valley and Springville are 3-2. And then at the top, there is a three-way tie for first place. Albernet, Edgewood, Colesburg, and North Linn all sit at 4-1 in TRC West play. North Linn lost to Edco. Edco lost to North Linn. North Linn lost to Edco. Edco lost to Albernet. And then I believe Albernet lost to North Linn as well to round out that triangle of games. I was double checking that. No, correction, they lost to Springville. They have not played North Linn yet. They will for the first time on Friday. So interesting way that things break out there. In the three-way tie at the top, North Linn lost to Edco. Edco lost to Albernet, and Albernet lost to Springville, who in their own right has lost two conference games to North Linn and Edco. Kind of confusing there at the top, but that's how it shakes out. As we've got a three-way tie for first place in the TRC West for the first time in who knows how long. As we've got a tie between non-perfect teams. North Linn's reign of perfection is over, but they're still a very tough team. Wildcats will have their hands full and then some this evening. Taking a look at games around the Tri-Rivers Conference here tonight. Three other games going on in the Tri-Rivers Conference West as Edgewood Colesburg will host Starmont. Albernet will host East Buchanan. And Maquoketa Valley will host Springville. So I think Edco pretty clearly will stay in that top spot. They will move to 5-1. Although Albernet could be in some trouble against East Buck. East Buck, a pretty solid team in their own right. I think Albernet's the favorite, but I don't think that one's expected to be a blowout by any means. Albernet will have to bring their A game against the Bucks. And then Maquoketa Valley and Springville are both 3-2 in the conference. And really, this is the game for both teams, and that if they want a chance to compete for first place in the conference, it has to be a win for both of them tonight. Clearly, that can't happen. One of them's going to win, one of them's going to lose. The winner will move to 4-2 in the conference. Loser will fall to 3-3. Got about 90 seconds to go before we get things underway here from Central City between the Lynx and the Wildcats. I'm David Warrington, happy to be bringing you Wildcat Sports on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page and the NFHS Network. Should be in for an exciting contest tonight between the Lynx and the Wildcats. Austin Hilmer will lead the way for North Linn. You'll hear Hilmer quite a few times tonight. He is third in the state, regardless of class, in both steals as well as assists. Also the leading scorer for the Lynx, averaging 23 points per game. Quite a player is Austin Hilmer. Believe he's committed to continue playing basketball next year at Upper Iowa in Fayette. He'll join his older brother, Jake Hilmer, a North Linn alum, as well as Central City's own Nick Reed, wearing the blue of the Peacocks up at Upper Iowa in Fayette. So both teams making their way over to the bench. We got 40 seconds and counting on the clock as we're about to meet our starting lineups between the Lynx and the Wildcats. When we do so, I will follow along with Mrs. Hackman as we meet tonight's starters in about 30 seconds' time. Both teams over on their bench. Coach Carlson giving the Wildcats some last-minute advice, as is Coach Hilmer of the Lynx, father of Austin, his star point guard. And here are tonight's starting lineups in a Tri-Rivers Conference West game between your Central City Wildcats and the visiting North Linn Lynx. For the Lynx, a 5'9" sophomore, 6'1" junior, number 13, Ben Wheatley. For the Wildcats, a 5'10" freshman, number 1, Matthew Klosterman. For the Lynx, a 6'2" senior, number 21, Cade Hoggenberry. And for the Wildcats, a 5'9" sophomore, number 2, Aiden Klosterman. For the Lynx, a 6'2 senior, number 23, Dylan Kurt. For the Wildcats, a 6'3 sophomore, number 23, Makai Benton. For the Lynx, a 5'10 senior, number 25, Austin Hilmer. For the Wildcats, 6' junior, number 30, Braden Rickles. For the Lynx, a 6'4 junior, number 31, Tate Hoggenberry. A little confusion as they had the starting lineups wrong. And now we've got it. For the Wildcats, 6' sophomore, number 4, Jaden Hansen. Assistant coaches for the Lynx, or assistant coach for the Lynx is Travis Griffith. Head coach is Mike Hilmer. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is John McGovern. Central City's head coach is Tanner Carlson. So we are set to go here from Central City between the Lynx and the Wildcats. 8 minutes are set on the clock. One more time, your starting lineups for the Lynx: Wheatley, Hoggenberry, Kurt, Hilmer, and Hoggenberry. For the Wildcats, Klosterman, Hansen, Benton, and Rickles. Wildcats wearing their home whites with the red and black trim. Lynx wearing their traveling burgundy uniforms with the black and white trim. Wildcats will work left to right to start. Lynx will work right to left. Benton will jump for the Wildcats, while it will be Tate Hoggenberry jumping center for the Lynx. Ball in the air. Things are underway here from Central City as the tip is controlled by the Lynx. Austin Hilmer will bring it up. And we've got Tri-Rivers Conference West basketball underway. Hilmer top of the key. Trying to get past the Klosterman. Has it tipped away. Stolen by Rickles. He's tripped up by Hilmer. And that foul will go against Austin Hilmer as Rickles was tripped up trying to run in the fast break. It's going to be his first, team foul number 1. As that foul goes against Hilmer. Rickles will throw it in from the sideline. Gets it into Matthew Klosterman. In the backcourt. Now crosses over into the front court. Dribbling to his left, guarded by Hoggenberry. Rickles thinks about a three. Now Benton takes the mid-range jumper from the short corner. It's no good. Rebounded by Wheatley. Kicks it ahead to Hilmer, crossing half court. Over to Kurt in the corner. Attacking the baseline, goes up with it. It's going to be no good. Unlucky bounce there for Kurt. Ball's loose. Several players trying to get on the floor for it. It's going to be called a foul there. We'll see who they got the foul on. And 30-second timeout called by Coach Hilmer of the Lynx. He wants to talk to his team. He's not happy. As that was the second team foul against the Lynx, it went against Cade Hoggenberry. That's his first. As timeout from Coach Hilmer, he's known to call these very early timeouts if he's not happy. My senior season, Nick Reed found me for an open layup underneath the hoop, and he called a timeout. Funnily enough, he wasn't upset that I got the open layup. He was upset that Reed wasn't double-teamed hard enough. Coach Hilmer calls the timeout there. As 7:26 to go in our opening quarter, we are scoreless as it'll be Wildcat basketball. Rickles throws it in front of the Wildcat bench. A very tough full court press being applied by the Lynx. That pass is going to be tipped, stolen away by Wheatley. He goes up with a shot. It's going to be good, but I think they're going to get a travel. They do. Ben Wheatley whistles for the traveling violation. Coach Hilmer letting the official hear it. He didn't agree with that one, but that is the call as Rickles will throw it in from underneath the Lynx basket. Gets it into Klosterman. It's tipped, but he gets it back. Klosterman across half court to Jaden Hansen. That pass is tipped. It's on the ground, picked up by Kurt. Hilmer gets it. He'll run the fast break for the Lynx. Goes behind his back, goes up with a shot. It's going to be no good off the glass. Rebounded by Cade Hoggenberry. His putback attempt's no good, but he is fouled. And Cade Hoggenberry will go to the line for a chance at 2 free throws to try to open our scoring here tonight. Looks like they got Matthew Klosterman on the foul. That'll be his first, team foul number 1. As Cade Hoggenberry, the 6'2 senior, gets set to attempt 2 free throws. First one on the way. That one is going to be good as Hoggenberry opens our scoring. Lynx lead at 1-0. One more free throw to come for North Linn. Hoggenberry set to attempt his second free throw. That one on the way is good as Cade knocks down both. It's 2-0. Rickles will throw it in for the Wildcats against the infamous North Linn full court press. It's in full effect right now. Klosterman trying to cross half court, gets tripped up a little bit, dives on the ball. He still has it, gives it over to his brother Matthew. Looking to get downhill, loses it again. He gets it back, attacking the hoop, goes up with a shot. It's going to be no good. We have a foul on the floor, so it'll be Wildcat basketball. Now the Lynx have picked up 3 quick fouls here with 6:51 to go in the opening quarter. Rickles will throw it in as that foul went on Tate Hoggenberry, his first team foul number 3. Rickles will throw it in for Central City. Wildcats have it underneath their own basket as we've got a warning going against the North Linn bench, I believe. I believe Coach Hilmer was given a warning from the official as he's been chirping at the official quite a bit already with just over a minute gone. Inbounds pass goes to Benton, and another foul as that one will go against Ben Wheatley. And that's going to be the 4th team foul called against the Lynx, but all 4 have gone against 4 individual players, so nobody has more than 1. 6:50 to go in the opening quarters. Rickles will throw it in from underneath the basket. Inbounds pass goes into the hands of Hansen. He goes up with it. It's blocked by Hilmer. And the Lynx will run in the full court. 3-on-2 fast break for Hilmer. He goes up with it. It's going to be no good, but he's fouled. As I believe they're going to get Matthew Klosterman for his 2nd foul. And Austin Hilmer will go to the line to shoot 2 for North Linn. Foul did go against Klosterman. His 2nd, team foul number 2. We'll see if Coach Carlson goes to the bench as his freshman point guard picks up his 2nd foul under 90 seconds into the game. Hilmer at the free throw line misses his first. Now Coach Hilmer bantering with the North Linn crowd. Doesn't seem pleased with his warning from the official. Austin Hilmer's 2nd free throw on the way. That one is good. He makes 1 of 2 and gives the Lynx a 3-0 lead. Klosterman gives it over to his brother Matthew crossing half court. He's double teamed in the left wing, gives it over to Aiden. Now Hansen drops the ball, picked up by Wheatley. Kicks it ahead to Hoggenberry. 1-on-1 fast break, lays it up high off the glass, and it's good. And we got a foul after the layup was good as Tate Hoggenberry gets his first bucket, first field goal of the night. But we've got a foul, and we'll see who they got for it. That's going to be the 5th team foul, as we'll have Mason Beshin, the 5'11 freshman, entering the game for the first time. He will replace Cade Hoggenberry as he picks up his 2nd foul. Rickles throws it into Klosterman, crossing half court. Has it stolen away by Beshin, and he's going to be tripped up by Aiden Klosterman. That's going to be Aiden's first fouls. There's been a whole lot of fouls here in these opening just under 2 minutes. 7 total, 5 on the Lynx. Make that 8 total, 5 on the Lynx, 3 on the Wildcats. As that'll be Aiden's first. Kurt will throw it in from in front of the Wildcat fans for North Linn. Gets it into Hilmer in the left corner. Now down low to Hoggenberry. He goes up with it. It's going to be good, and the foul as Tate Hoggenberry gets the basket to go and takes the contact. See who they got on the foul. I believe they got Aiden for his 2nd. Looks like that was the hand indication from the official. As Tate Hoggenberry will go to the line to shoot a free throw. That was Klosterman's 2nd. Both Klostermans have 2. As Hoggenberry's free throw is good. He's got 5 to lead the Lynx. The inbounds pass goes to Aiden Klosterman. Bounce pass over to Matthew. He'll look across the timeline, gives it over to Aiden across half court. Aiden attacking down low, puts it up, it's good! Aiden with a circus finish! But they're gonna say offensive foul called against Aiden Klosterman. That's gonna be his 3rd with just under 2 minutes gone, as he'll have to exit the game as he's picked up 3 quick fouls. 5th team foul. Coach Carlson didn't like the call. Didn't look like a charge from where I'm sitting. Marcus Shellhorn will check into the game for Central City, the 6'3 junior coming off the bench tonight. As the Lynx have it, Hilmer crosses the timeline, has it right wing, uses the screen from Hoggenberry. Mid-range jumper on the way from Hilmer is good. It rattles around and home. As Hilmer gets the bucket to go, he's got 3. Klosterman double teamed in the corner. He's in trouble. His pass going to be stolen away. No, out of bounds. As Wheatley got his hands on it, but his foot was out of bounds as they tried to save it. So Wildcat basketball underneath their own hoop. Rickles will throw it in. 5:41 to go in the opening quarter. 10-0 our score. Rickles gets it into Matthew Klosterman. Fakes a 3. Shot on the way from Matthew Klosterman is no good, and the charge is going to be called as both Klosterman brothers have 3 fouls now, and Matthew's going to have to exit the game as well. Lucas Greif's going to replace him, the 5'7 junior, making his first appearance in the game. As 16 fouls against the Wildcats with 5:36 to go in the opening quarter. 3 apiece on Matthew and Aiden Klosterman. Lynx basketball as Hilmer crosses half court, uses a screen from Hoggenberry. Hilmer attacking down low, and they're going to get An offensive foul called against Austin Hilmer now as Lucas Greif took the charge. As looks like we'll have a sub here as it'll be Tate Collum checking into the game for the Lynx. He will replace Austin Hilmer, who will exit the game with 2 fouls. 6 fouls on each team, so both will be over the limit at the next foul. Greif gets it across half court to Rickles, into the corner to Benton, fakes the 3. Pull-up mid-range jumper on the way from Benton is going to be no good. Rebound tipped around, out of bounds, last touched by Collum, so it will stay with the Wildcats. It was Marcus Shellhorn in there fighting with them for it. Rickles is going to throw it in for Central City. As Rickles gets it in down low to Hansen, he goes up with it. His shot is going to be good as Jaden Hansen gets the Wildcats on the board. It's 10-2 as Beston's running the one for the Lynx with Hilmer on the bench. Kicks it out to Hoggenberry, top of the key, fakes a 3, loses it for a second. Benton picks it up, and the Wildcats will run in transition. Benton looking to run the fast break, gives it over to Hansen, fakes the mid-range jumper, now brings it top of the key. He will take a straight-on three-pointer on the way. It's short, off the mark, rebounded by Shellhorn. He gives it over to Rickles. Rickles attacking the hoop, goes up with it. His floater's on the way. It's no good, and Collum pulls down the rebound. Besson crossing half court. Over to Kurt, top of the key. Left wing to Collum. Tate Collum, a three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebounded by Wheatley. Down low, Besson takes one hard dribble, goes up with his left hand. It's good. Mason Besson enters the scoring column as it's 12-2, 10-point advantage for the Lynx. Greif crossing half court, attacking the hoop. Nice take by Lucas. Goes up with it. It's no good. Rebounded by Benton. Takes a hard dribble. Now gives it over to Rickles, but he can't get it. It's going to go into the backcourt as Hoggenberry hustling down there to get it. He gets to it. He'll go up. His layup is good as Tate Hoggenberry gets to go. He's got 7. Lynx lead at 14-2. Shellhorn gives it over to Greif as the Wildcats try to break this press. Double team comes as Greif's in a little bit of trouble. Now crosses half court. Ball's loose. Greif picks it up. On the ground, he got a timeout called by Coach Carlson of the Wildcats. The timeout will be of the 30-second variety. 3:56 to go in the first quarter. Our score, North Linn 14, Central City 2. So both teams have 6 fouls and are 1 away from being over the limit. For the Lynx, Cade Hoggenberry and Austin Hilmer have 2. Ben Wheatley and Tate Hoggenberry have 1. For Central City, Matthew and Aiden Closerman both have 3 fouls and therefore are on the bench against this North Linn press. So Wildcats trail it by 12 here with just under 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. They'll have it back after Coach Carlson called a 30-second timeout. They'll throw it in from in front of their own bench. Rickles will throw it in as both teams retake the floor. Hansen, Greif, Shellhorn, Benton, and Rickles out there for Central City. Rickles to throw it in. Trying to use the backcourt, does so and gets it into Greif. He's guarded by Besson, crosses into the front court as he's double-teamed. Wheatley comes to double-team Greif, gets it out of there to Hansen. Now he has the top of the key, looking to get downhill. Corner to Rickles, attacking the hoop, puts it up with his left hand or right hand, and it's good. As Braden Rickles gets a bucket to go, Wildcats trail it by 10, 14-4. Besson crossing half court, guarded by Rickles into the corner to Wheatley. Now back to Besson on the right wing. Now top of the key over to Kurt. Kurt dribbling left. Top of the key to Wheatley, attacking the hoop. Top of the key to Kurt once again. Attacking down low, puts it up. It's going to be no good, but he is fouled. And Dylan Kurt will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws for North Linn. That is going to be the 7th team foul against the Wildcats. They went against Makai Benton, his first, as Kurt goes to the line to shoot 2 for North Linn. Kurt hasn't scored yet. He'll try to change that at the line. First one on the way is good. His first bucket as a couple subs into the game. Both of the players for North Linn that had 2 fouls are going to re-enter. Cade Hoggenberry and Austin Hilmer re-enter the game, replacing Wheatley and Tate Hoggenberry. Kurt getting set to attempt his second free throw. Shot from the 6'2 senior is on the way, and it is good as he makes both. He's got 2. Lynx lead at 16-4. Rickles to throw it in for the Wildcats. Gets it into Greif as the full court press still in effect for North Linn. Hansen has it stolen away. One-on-one. Cade Hoggenberry going to the rim, lays it up off the glass, and it's good. Cade Hoggenberry with his second bucket of the night. Rickles crossing half court, guarded by Besson. Rickles nearly has it stolen away. It's loose now. Hansen picks it up. Bounce pass over to Greif. Now top of the key to Hansen. Into the corner. Benton, three-pointer on the way, is going to be no good. Too short. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Hagenberry. He gives it over to Hilmer. Austin Hilmer running in the full court. Now down low to Collum. Nice pass. He goes up with it. Tate Collum's layup is going to be good as Tate Collum puts his name in the scoring book. His first bucket, it's 20-4. Greif guarded by Cade Hagenberry in the full court as both of the Closterman brothers head over to the scorer's table. Hansen to Rickles in the high post. Makes a nice move to the hoop and goes up with it. It's good as Braden Rickles gets his second bucket of the night. He's got 4. It's 20-6. Hilmer right wing guarded by Rickles. He'll take a three-pointer from the top of the key. It's going to be good. Austin Hilmer knocks down the long-range jumper. He's got 6. It's 23-6. Hansen attacking the hoop. He'll go up with it. His shot is good, but they're going to call for an offensive foul as Tate Collum, no, Dylan Kurt took the charge. So the basket will not count, and Jaden Hansen's going to be whistled for his first foul. It's team foul number 8 as both Clostermans re-enter the game. They'll replace Rickles and Hansen. Looks like we also had Tate Hagenberry re-entering for the Lynx. He'll replace Tate Collum. 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter as Hilmer brings it up for the Lynx. Crossing half court, guarded by Greif. Dribbling left. Has it left wing over top of the key to Collum. Or Kurt, rather. Takes it straight on three-pointer, and it's good. Dylan Kurt knocks down the 3. He's got 5. It's 26-6. 20-point advantage for the Lynx. Matthew Closterman crosses the timeline. Double team comes, gives it over to Greif, right corner. Attacking the hoop, goes up with a runner. It's going to be good off the glass. Nice finish inside by Lucas Greif for his first bucket of the night. Hilmer bringing it up for the Lynx. Attacking the hoop, nice take. Now gives it over to Hagenberry. Takes a hard dribble, reverse layups, no good. Rebounded by Closterman. He's double teamed in the backcourt. Now a triple team comes, gives it over to Aiden Closterman. He'll give a bounce pass over to Benson. He takes a long 2. Toes in the line, it's no good. Saves it. Gives it into the hands of Hagenberry, who gives it to Hilmer. He'll bring it up for North Linn. A minute to go in the opening frame as Hilmer skips it over to Beshton for a wide open three-pointer from the left wing. Beshton's three-pointer is no good. It's halfway down and bounces out. Hagenberry picks up the offensive rebound, takes a couple hard dribbles as Tate Hagenberry sends it out to Beshton, top of the key to Kurt. Dylan Kurt fakes the 3. They're going to get him for a traveling violation as he faked the 3. Ben Wheatley will re-enter the game for North Linn as Beshton will check out. We've also got Jaden Hansen coming back in for Central City. He'll replace Braden Rickles, or correction, he'll replace Lucas Greif. Hansen to inbound for the Wildcats. Gets it to Closterman crossing half court. Has it poked loose. It's still on the ground. Now Closterman picks it back up. Over to Matthew Closterman. Uses the screen from Benson. Gives it down low. It's tipped. Stolen away by Hilmer. Hilmer on the fast break. No look pass to Hagenberry, who goes up with it and puts it through. Cade Hagenberry's got 6. Give another assist to Hilmer. He's third in the state in those. It's 28-8 with 30 seconds to go in that quarter. Closterman guarded by Hagenberry. Into the corner to Shellhorn. He'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. It's good. Nice three-pointer there from Marcus Shellhorn to put him in the scoring column. It's 28-11 with 13 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Lynx most likely going to hold for one shot. Hilmer takes a contested three-pointer straight on. No good. Rebound pulled down by Aiden Closterman. Bounce pass to Benton. It's going to be on the ground still. It's still on the ground. Wheatley picks it up, but not until the horn has sounded. And that is going to do it for our opening quarter of basketball from Central City. Our score, North Linn 28, Central City 11. It's quite the opening quarter there, as there were a whole lot of fouls. Central City has 8 fouls called against them. North Linn has 6. North Linn leads at 28-11 after one frame. Braden Rickles, the leading scorer in that quarter for Central City. He had 4. Marcus Shellhorn had 3. Lucas Greif and Jaden Hansen both had 2. The Lynx were led by Tate Hagenberry with 7. Cade Hagenberry with 6. As well as Austin Hilmer with 6. Dylan Kurt had 5. And Mason Beshton had 2. It'll be Wildcat ball to begin the second quarter as the possession arrow favors Central City. They trail at 28-11 after 8 minutes of play. Both the Clostermans have 3 fouls, remember, as they'll have to be careful pretty much the rest of the way. It's going to be the Clostermans alongside Shellhorn, Benton, and Hansen for the Wildcats. Lynx going with the Hagenberries alongside Kurt, Hilmer, and Wheatley. Wildcat ball. Hansen's going to throw it in. Does so to Matthew Klosterman as second quarter is underway. Hansen has it right wing now. Now into the right corner to Klosterman. He's double teamed and gives it over to Hansen right wing. Now back to Klosterman. Matthew in some trouble. Now gives the top of the key to Aiden. It's going to be tipped around. Hansen ends up with it. Attacking the hoop. Jump stop down low to Shellhorn. Gives it to Benton. He'll go up. Swatted out of bounds by Tate Hagenberry. The 6'4 junior comes in for the emphatic block. It'll remain Wildcat ball after Hagenberry swats it out of bounds. Hansen's going to throw it in for Central City. He gets it into Benton, but Benton can't handle the pass. Hilmer, wide open path of the rim. He lays it up and in as Austin Hilmer has 8. And the Lynx lead at 30-11. Matthew Klosterman bringing it up for the Wildcats. He's double teamed in the left wing. Standing around the half-court line. Now over to Aiden Klosterman, top of the key. Thinks about a pull-up three. Now gives it over to Benton. Kicks it back to Matthew Klosterman, attacking the hoop. Fakes a jumper. Now fadeaway jumper from Matthew Klosterman is going to be no good. Rolled around the rim for a while before falling out. Kurt rebounds it, gives it over to Hilmer on the right wing. Attacking the hoop. Nice baseline drive from Hilmer. He gives it over to Wheatley. Open three-pointer on the way is going to be good for Ben Wheatley. His first 3 points of the night. As just a great drive there along the baseline for Hilmer. Klosterman has the top of the key. He'll take the three-pointer. It's going to be no good off back iron. Rebound by Hagenberry. And Hilmer kicks it ahead to Tate Hagenberry. Fakes a mid-range jumper. Now open three-pointer on the way for Austin Hilmer is good. As Hilmer connects from long range. He's got 11 to break into double figures. And we've got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Carlson of the Wildcats. 60-second timeout. Got 6:41 to go in our second quarter. Our score, North Linn 36, Central City 11. Well, we've got a chance. I'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual. That's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. The Wildcats trailing this one 36-11 with 6:41 remaining in our opening quarter. As Austin Hilmer just hit a three-pointer before that timeout to break into double figures with 11. The 5'10 senior averages 23 points a night. As the Lynx back on the floor, same five at the start of the game with the Hagenberries, Kurt, Hilmer, and Wheatley. Wildcats didn't sub either. They've got the same five that started, minus Rickles plus Shellhorn. Aiden Klosterman throws it into his brother Matthew, who will bring it up the floor for Central City. As the Lynx have brought off the pressure in the full court, still pressuring in the half court. As Klosterman looks to get downhill, gives it over to Benton. Open look from three for Makai Benton is good as Makai Benton knocks down the three-pointer from the right corner. His first bucket of the night. Austin Hilmer double teamed by the Klostermans at the top of the key. Rickles will check in at the next dead ball as Hilmer uses the screen, gives it over to Kurt. Open look from three for Dylan Kurtz, no good. Rebounded by Shellhorn. He gives it over to Hansen. Klosterman will now bring it up for Central City. 36-14, 6 minutes to go in the half. Bounce pass is faked. Now lob pass over to Klosterman, top of the key. Ball's loose. It's going to be a fight for it inside. We got a jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Lynx, so it'll be North Linn basketball after the jump ball was forced. Braden Rickles is going to re-enter the game for the Lynx as he will replace Jaden Hansen. The sophomore will get a rest on the bench. Austin Hilmer again to run the one for the Lynx. Crossing the timeline, gives it over to Tate Hagenberry. Top of the key to Ben Wheatley. Now back to Hilmer on the right wing. Wheatley attacking. Nice baseline drive. Great pass over to Wheatley. His three-pointer is no good, however. Rebound is secured by Shellhorn, and he gives it over to Matthew Klosterman. Klosterman, top of the key, uses a screen from Shellhorn. Double team comes, gives it over to Aiden. He'll think about a three. Now gives it over to Rickles in the right corner. He's guarded by Wheatley. Back to Aiden, right wing. Over to Matthew. He'll take a three-pointer from the left wing. He knocks it down as Matthew Klosterman gets into the scoring column with his first 3 points of the evening. 36-17 as Hilmer uses a screen from Hagenberry. Takes a contested three-pointer. It's good. That's just a tough shot. Not a whole lot more you can do there if you're Matthew Klosterman as Hilmer just rose up and went over his outstretched hand and knocks it in for three. Klosterman crossing half court. Bounce pass to Aiden Klosterman. Now back to Matthew, top of the key. Fakes a three. Now does take a contested three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rattles out of the rim and out as Hilmer brings it up for North Linn. Hilmer, right wing, guarded by Klosterman. Nice move. Pull-up jumper on the way is good. Austin Hilmer gets another one to go. He's got 16 to lead all scorers. It's 41-17. Matthew Klosterman breaks the pressure of Hagenberry. Now gives it over to Benson. He'll take a three-pointer from the left corner, and he can't get that one to go. Rebound secured by Hilmer, as he'll run the fast break for North Linn. He'll take a pull-up three-pointer. On the way, no good off front of the rim, but he can't get his own rebound. Klosterman gets it. Now he's going to look to pull up from three. Does not do so. Over to Aiden. Three-pointer on the way from Rickles from the right corner is going to be no good. Rebounded by Kurt. As Dylan Kurt kicks it ahead to Tate Hagenberry. Running the lane, and it's good. Nice finish inside with the left hand by Tate Hagenberry. He's got 9 as the Lynx lead at 43-17 with 4 minutes to go until the half. Aiden Klosterman has it in the front court. Attacking the hoop. Bounce pass stolen away by Hilmer as he came in at the last second to get it. Hilmer has a poke loose from behind by Aiden, however, so the Wildcats get it back. Aiden Klosterman attacking once again. Now pulls it out. Top of the key to Matthew Klosterman. Matthew going downhill, goes up with it his left hand. It's good. Nice finish inside by Matthew Klosterman. He's got 5. It's 43-19. Dylan Kurt thinks about a three from the left corner, or right corner rather. Now skips it, left corner to Wheatley. He will take the three-pointer, and he can't knock it down. It's tipped around. Aiden Klosterman picks it up. As he'll look to attack downhill, goes up with it. His shot is good, and the foul as Aiden Klosterman gets his first bucket of the night. And he will go to the line for a chance at one more. We'll have a few subs here momentarily. That foul went against, I believe it was Dylan Kurt. There'll be team foul number 7 against the Lynx. That is Kurt's first. As we got Tate Collum and Mason Beschen re-entering for the Lynx, as well as Gunnar Venorni making his first appearance in the game. Lucas Greif re-entered the game for Central City, and Jaden Hansen's also at the scorer's table. He'll check in for Klosterman at the next dead ball, or if Klosterman makes this free throw. Klosterman's free throw is on the way. It is no good. Can't get the extra shot to go as it's rebounded by Beschen. Beschen has a left wing for the Lynx. Top of the key to Kurt. He'll take the straight on three-pointer. It's going to be good. Dylan Kurt knocks down the open look. He's quite the three-point shooter. Can't give him that look as he cashes at home. Matthew Klosterman brings it up for the Wildcats. Over to Benton in the left wing. Aiden Klosterman, open look from three is good. Nice three-pointer there from Aiden Klosterman. His first long-range jumper of the night. He's got 5. As Beschen gets it over to Collum in the corner. Tate Collum three-pointer is good. Tate Collum's got 5 as well, and the Lynx lead at 49-24. Matthew Klosterman crossing the half-court line. Gives it over to Aiden, right wing, into the right corner to Greif, back to Aiden. Top of the key to Rickles. 2:30 to go in the second quarter. As Rickles attacks downhill, picks up his dribble, over to Matthew, fakes a three. Nice move there by Matthew, over to Benson. He fakes a mid-range jumper, over to Rickles, top of the key. Thinks about a three, now Greif, right corner, guarded by Venorni. Top of the key to Klosterman. Now Matthew Klosterman skies up for a three. It's good. Matthew Klosterman knocks down his second three of the game. He's got 8, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Timeout called by Coach Hilmer of the Lynx. This is a full 60-second timeout. 2:08 remaining in the second quarter. Our score, North Linn 49, Central City 27, as Jaden Hansen will now check in for Aiden Klosterman. A look at some scoring numbers for the Wildcats. Matthew Klosterman's led the way so far with 8. Aiden Klosterman has 5. Braden Rickles has 4. Marcus Shellhorn has 3, as does Makai Benson, and Lucas Greif and Jaden Hansen both have 2. For the Lynx, Austin Hilmer has 16. He's followed by Tate Hagenberry with 9. Dylan Kurt has 8. Cade Hagenberry has 6. Tate Collum has 5. Ben Wheatley has 3. And Mason Beschen has 2. The scoring coming from a wide variety of places for the Lynx. They're getting it done all over the floor. They lead at 49-27. Both teams back on the floor. Matthew Klosterman, Hansen, Rickles, Greif, and Benton out there for Central City. As Hilmer will bring it up for the Lynx, he's joined by Collum, Venorni, Tate Hagenberry, and Beschen. Venorni has a left or right wing. And over to Hilmer on the left wing. He will take a three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Rickles as he hands it over to Matthew Klosterman. Matthew crossing the timeline, down low to Benton, but the pass is just out of his reach, out of bounds. It'll be North Linn basketball with 1:50 to go in the second quarter of play. Collum inbounds it to Hilmer. He'll bring it up for the Lynx, kicks it across half court to Venorni on the right wing. Top of the key to Beschen. Back to Hilmer, left wing. Down low, short corner to Hagenberry. Venorni fakes a three from the right corner. Now inside to Hilmer. Pass down low. It's going to be a nice finish inside by Tate Hagenberry. He's got 11. He was up high enough. He could have dunked it if he felt like it. Instead, just lays it in off the glass. 51-27 our score as Matthew Klosterman nearly turns it over there. It'll be off of Van Norney, I believe. Yep, Van Norney trying to dive out of bounds and get it. As it'll be Wildcat basketball. Aiden Klosterman's going to re-enter the game for Central City, replacing his little brother Matthew. Rickles will throw it in for the Wildcats. They're all in a stack formation right in front of Rickles, running a set play. Gets it into Benton. I believe he was the safety valve on that play in case nothing else worked out. Aiden Klosterman trying to attack, has the top of the key, gives it over to Greif, right wing. Nice dribble drive from Greif, lays it up. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Hilmer. And he kicks it way down court to Hagenberry. Takes one hard dribble, puts it up, no good. Gets his own rebound. Putback is good. As Tate Hagenberry now leads is now the second leading scorer with 13. And Klosterman has it taken away by Hagenberry, and he will dunk that one. Strong two-handed dunk from Hagenberry as he's on quite the scoring stretch here. He's got 15 for the Lynx. 6'4" junior got up and dunked that one without issue as Klosterman's cross pass goes across half court to Greif. That pass goes off the knee of Benton. He gets it back. His fadeaway jumper's no good. Rebounded by Hilmer. As he crosses half court for the Lynx, looking to get downhill. Nice move inside. Puts it up off the glass. It's good. Austin Hilmer finishes inside. Give him 18 on the night. Lynx lead at 57-27, 30-point advantage for the Lynx of North Linn. Greif trying to cross the timeline. He does so, guarded by Beshin. 12 seconds to go until the half as Aiden Klosterman has it poked into the backcourt, gets it back. It's poked loose once again. Hagenberry goes up and gets it 2-on-1 as Hagenberry goes up over Klosterman and puts it up softly off the glass. And that will do it for our first half of play here from Central City. Our score, North Linn 59, Central City 27. So if you're North Linn, got to be happy with that first half as they go into the locker rooms with a 32-point advantage, 3 points away from that running clock. As taking a look at some scoring numbers from that first half, Austin Hilmer led all scorers with 18. He's closely followed by Tate Hagenberry, who had 17. Dylan Kurt had 8. Cade Hagenberry had 6. Tate Cullum had 5. Ben Wheatley had 3, and Mason Beshin rounded out scoring for the Lynx with 2. There was a lot of fouls early in that half for the Lynx, but not a whole lot of foul trouble going into the locker rooms. Cade Hagenberry and Austin Hilmer both have 2. Ben Wheatley, Dylan Kurt, and Tate Hagenberry all have 1. For the Wildcats, they have Matthew Klosterman leading the way with 8 points in that opening half. Aiden Klosterman has 5. Braden Rickles had 4. Marcus Shellhorn and Makai Benton both had 3. Jaden Hansen and Lucas Greif rounded out the scoring for the Wildcats with 2 apiece. A little bit of foul trouble in that first half for the Wildcats as both of the Klosterman brothers have 3 fouls, and they had 3 fouls that entire second quarter. Luckily, they didn't commit a 4th. And they can go into the second half with just the 3. Still not ideal. Jaden Hansen and Makai Benton also both picked up a foul in that opening half, I should say, for the Wildcats. So it's a 32-point game after 16 minutes of basketball, 59-27 our score. While we've got a break here at the half, we'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank and Trust Company is a community bank with offices in Central City and Eastern Iowa, providing a complete line of financial services to commercial and retail customers, customized lending, and cash management solutions. We build strong relationships by getting to know our customers and understanding their needs. Learn more at www.hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. So just under 8 minutes to go before we get our second half underway. We've got some half-court shooting going on here in Central City. As, of course, it's not the only game going on around the conference tonight. 3 other Tri-Rivers West games. Starmont is at Edgewood Colesburg taking on the Vikings. Alburnett hosts East Buchanan, and Springville is traveling to Maquoketa Valley. See if I can get an update out of that Springville game, as I know they were broadcasting it, but they were quite a bit behind us earlier. They were just starting the first quarter, and we were at half in the girls' game. And looks like the girls' game just finished up in Del High as the boys are warming up. Nice 20-point victory for Springville. They took down Maquoketa Valley in the girls' game, 56-36. As Springville still has just the one loss in the conference, and the Wildcats fall to the Orioles. Also, some games going on in the Tri-Rivers East. These games don't count for the conference standings for Central City, but still interesting to see what's going on around the Tri-Rivers as a whole. There are 3 games. Of course, there's only 7 teams in the East, 8 teams in the West, so one team every night has a night off. Midland is at Easton Valley tonight, taking on the Riverhawks. Calamus Wheatland is at Cedar Valley Christian, taking the drive over to Cedar Rapids. And Prince of Peace is hosting Marquette Catholic this evening. As that won't be the case for long, by the way, mentioning the 7 teams in the East, as North Cedar, I think next school year, will be joining the Tri-Rivers as a member of the East, and we'll have an even 8-8 on both sides of the conference. So an update from the Easton Valley Midland game. The boys' game has not started. They're still in the girls' game. Easton Valley leads the Eagles of Midland 37-33 with 5:43 remaining in that one between the Riverhawks and the Eagles. So an updated look at your Wildcats' upcoming schedule. After this one here tonight against North Linn, things don't get any easier as they travel over to Springville to take on the Orioles this Friday, January 14th. I, alongside Jason McLaughlin, will be on the call for that one. That is the plan as of now anyways. And then going into next week on Monday, Dunkerton will travel here to Central City for a non-conference matchup against your Wildcats. And then on Tuesday of next week, the 18th, Wildcats will host Alburnett in a rematch of the game that Alburnett won 62-46 earlier this season. Of course, Alburnett is tied for first in the Tri-Rivers West and just pulled off that shocking victory over Edco, who are coming off the victory against North Linn. Then the Wildcats hit the road and travel to Arlington on the 21st to take on Starmont. On the 25th, they'll be back home against Maquoketa Valley. They'll be at Edco on January 28th. They will host East Buchanan in what is listed on Varsity Bound as senior night. That is February 1st. Wildcats lost the first one of the Bucks 58-28 on January 7th, this past Friday rather. They'll have the rematch with North Linn on February 4th in Troy Mills. I'll be on the call for that one as well. And then on February 8th, Central City conclude their season, the regular season that is, against Springville in a boys-only contest. Way back in November, the girls opened their year with a girls-only contest against Springville. So the boys will finish that sequence off with the season finale, the regular season finale, against the Orioles of Springville, 7 o'clock on February 8th. That one will be at home. Remember, you can catch every Wildcat home basketball game on the Wildcat Sports on YouTube for free in an audio-only format. Or there's also the NFHS Network where you can tune in for the audio alongside the visual of the game. That is a paid service, of course. However you're listening in, we do appreciate you tuning in to all of our home games as well as select road games. I can tell you for sure we will be at the Springville game this Friday as well as the North Linn game in about 3 weeks or so, February 4th at North Linn. And then once postseason comes around, we'll do our very best to be wherever the Wildcats are, both boys and girls, wherever the postseason takes them. We'll have some coverage for you there as well. So both teams back on the floor shooting around before our second half gets underway. Wildcats to my left, Lynx to my right. We've got 3 minutes until the second half gets started here from Central City. 59-27 advantage for the North Linn Lynx. The Wildcats will get it first offensively to begin our second half, as the possession arrow does favor Central City going into our third quarter of play. Again, the Closefrom brothers will have to continue to be careful here in the second half. Both have 3 fouls stemming back all the way to the opening minutes of the game. They've been able to avoid a 4th foul so far. They'll have to keep doing that. 59-27, so we are just 3 points away from that running clock. Of course, in Iowa, the running clock is invoked at a 35-point margin, and then it doesn't go back to a normal clock right away if you get it back under 35. I believe you have to get something like 25 points before they continue the running clock, or the normally functioning clock, I should say. It's not the case in football. I believe in football once you get to that 35-point margin. The clock starts to run, but as soon as you get it back under 35, it'll be back to normal until that lead does go back above 35. Basketball, not the case. Have to get it back to within, I believe, 25 to get that running clock turned off. So we'll give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank, as we get set to start our second half in just a couple minutes. Heartland Bank is a full-service community bank. We believe in meeting the needs of our customers while exceeding their expectations. Banking is personal to each individual, and that's why we provide options for your life. Member FDIC. So again, a huge shout out to Heartland Bank for all their support. This broadcast would not be possible without them, so can't thank them enough. Make sure you support the local Heartland Bank here in Central City. The Lynx are back over on their bench to begin our second half of play. The Wildcats still getting a couple shots up here with about 1:05 to go before we get our second half of play underway. As we'll see who the starting lineups in the second half are momentarily. Presumably, both teams will go with the 5 that started the contest. Lynx started the game with Ben Wheatley, Cade Hoggenberry, Dylan Kurt, Austin Hilmer, and Tate Hoggenberry. Wildcats started with the Klostermans alongside Jaden Hansen, Makai Benson, and Braden Rickles. So 30 seconds and counting as both teams getting some last-minute instructions from their coach. Lynx retake the floor, and they will start with the same 5 that started the game. The Hoggenberrys with Wheatley, Hilmer, and Kurt. Lynx working right to left in the second half. Lynx working left to right. Wildcats will work right to left. As Central City will get it first. They're still huddled up with Coach Carlson. This looks like a player in there is getting some tape from our trainer, Beth. They'll have to do that pretty quickly as we've got 5 seconds on the clock. Believe that is Aiden getting some tape. He's got that figured out now, and Wildcats will retake the floor. They are going to go with the same 5 that started the game. They've got the Klosterman brothers with Rickles, Benson, and Hansen. Wildcat basketball as Rickles will throw it in. Matthew Klosterman is set to bring it up. Cade Hoggenberry is there to apply some pressure. As Rickles looking to get it in, does so to Klosterman in the backcourt, and our second half is underway. Klosterman crosses into the front court, guarded by Cade Hoggenberry. Dribbling to his left, now gives it over to Rickles. Open three-pointer on the way from Rickles is going to be too long. Rebounded by Tate Hoggenberry. Kick ahead pass to Hilmer. Nice bounce pass to Wheatley, and his layup is good. As give Hilmer another assist. Wheatley has 5 points. It's 61-27, 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Benton has it in the right corner, down low to Rickles. And they're going to get a traveling violation called against Braden Rickles. He kind of lost his handle on the basketball there, and his feet shuffled, so that'll be a turnover. Lynx basketball as the inbounds pass goes to Hilmer. Uses the screen from Hoggenberry. Has the top of the key, guarded by Klosterman. Over to Kurt on the left wing. Skips it over to Wheatley, right wing. Now high post to Kurt. Fakes a pass, now takes a couple dribbles over to Hilmer. He'll give it over to Kurt. Open look from 3 for Dylan Kurt is no good. Too strong off back iron. Rebounded by Kurt, however, and he gives it to Hilmer. Nice inside pass goes to Cade Hoggenberry, and he gets the basket to go. And I believe that will invoke our running clock here with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. 63-27 our score. As Hansen gives it over to Klosterman, top of the key, looking to get downhill. Nice fake there by Klosterman, and he gets the bucket up and in. As he has 7 on the evening. 63-29 our score. Top of the key to Kurt. Wheatley left wing. And now skips it over to Hilmer, attacking baseline. Back to Wheatley. And now top of the key to Kurt. Kurt will take the straight-on three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rebound tipped up in the air, out of bounds off of the Lynx. And that will be Wildcat ball. Sure enough, running clock is in effect here as the clock continues to roll down to about 6:25 in the third quarter as the inbounds pass goes to Matthew Klosterman. He'll bring it across the timeline for the Wildcats, looking to get downhill over to Rickles, right wing. Top of the key to Aiden Klosterman. Dribbling right. Gets past a couple defenders. Goes up and is blocked out of bounds by Hoggenberry, but there is a foul on the floor. So Aiden Klosterman will go to the line to shoot 2 for Central City. They got the foul against Tate Hoggenberry of the Lynx. It's going to be his second, team foul number 1 in the second half, as Aiden Klosterman goes to the free throw line for a pair of shots. First free throw from Aiden is on the way. That one is going to be good as he knocks down the first. Give him 8. He's got a chance for one more. 6:10 to go in the third quarter. 63-30 our score. Lynx with the 33-point advantage. Klosterman with a second free throw. That one on the way as he knocks down both. He's got 9 on the evening, 63-31. Top of the key to Hilmer, now over to Kurt, left wing, fakes a 3. Looking for somewhere to go with it, top of the key to Hilmer. He'll take a contested three-pointer. On the way, it's going to bounce around, no good. Rebounded by Hagenberry. Goes up with a put-back dunk there from Tate Hagenberry, as that's his second dunk of the evening. He's got 19 for the Lynx. Rickles, left wing, guarded by Hilmer. Looking to attack the rim. Nice drive there as he's going to be called for a traveling violation, as he shuffled his feet right before the shot. And the ball will go over to North Linn. Inbounds pass goes to Hilmer, as he'll bring it up for the Lynx. Kurt attacking the hoop. Down low to Hagenberry. Goes up and under for the finish, as Tate Hagenberry gets another one to go. He's got 21 now. 5:15 to go in the third quarter. 67-31 our score. Matthew Klosterman crossing the timeline for the Wildcats. High post to Benton. He'll take the mid-range jumper. That one on the way is going to bounce around and out. Hilmer secures the rebound, crossing half court. Gets past the defender. Down low as it's going to be good for Tate Hagenberry, and the foul. As Tate Hagenberry will go to the line to shoot a free throw for North Linn. Also got a foul against one of the Wildcats. I believe that may have been Benton. Marcus Shellhorn's going to re-enter the game for Central City. He'll replace Rickles. That foul did go against Benton, his second team foul, number 1. As Tate Hagenberry is at the free throw line to shoot one free throw for North Linn. Hagenberry's free throw is on the way. That one is good. Give him 24. It's 70-31 as Klosterman will bring it up for Central City. 4:58 to go in the third quarter. Klosterman over to Aiden. Now in the left corner to Hansen. Down low to Matthew Klosterman. Makes a hard move to the rim, but his shot's going to be well off the mark. Rebounded by Kurt. Kick ahead pass goes to Hagenberry. He'll slam it home once again, as he does it with 2 hands for safety. Inbounds pass goes to Aiden Klosterman. It's 26 in the night for Tate Hagenberry. Quite a game from the junior as Aiden Klosterman goes up, blocked out of bounds by Tate Hagenberry, as he's really controlling the game right now for North Linn. Austin Hilmer's obviously the facilitator for this team and the leading scorer, but Tate Hagenberry's having a very impressive game. Hansen's going to throw it in for Central City, gets it into Klosterman in the right corner. Down low to Benton. His fadeaway jumper on the way is going to be no good. Rebounded by Austin Hilmer. He's running in the full court. No look pass to Hagenberry. Has some trouble with it. Kicks it over to Cade Hagenberry. Give Cade the assist, or Cade the basket, Tate the assist. It's 74-31. Matthew Klosterman, top of the key. Fakes the pass to Aiden. Now gives it to Hansen, dribbling to his right. Looking to get downhill. Fadeaway jumper is going to be no good off back iron. Nice rebound there by Marcus Shellhorn, however. He skips it over to Matthew Klosterman, who gives it to Benson on the left wing. Pull-up jumper on the way from Benton. That one's good. It rattles home as Makai Benton has 5 on the night. 3.5 to go in the third quarter, 74-33. Three-pointer on the way from Dylan Kurt. He knocks down the 3 from the left wing. Puts him in double figures with 11 as the Lynx lead it 77-33. 3:15 to go in the third. And that's going to be a turnover as Matthew and Aiden couldn't connect on that pass. Max Arthur is going to make his first appearance in tonight's game for the Wildcats. He'll replace Jaden Hansen as the 5'9 freshman sees the court with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kurt over to Wheatley, top of the key. Hilmer, right wing. Dribbling left now, top of the key is Hilmer. Wheatley, left wing. Looking to get it downhill. Now over to Kurt, top of the key. He thinks about a 3 from the volleyball line. Now a set play for the Lynx. Get Kurt an open look from 3, and he can't get it to go as the rebound's going to be picked up by Matthew Klosterman. And he runs in the full court for Central City. Klosterman, top of the key. Fakes a pass. Now top of the key to Aiden. Aiden attacking down low. Gives it over to Marcus Shellhorn, right wing. His pass is tipped. Stolen away by Cade Hagenberry. 2-on-2 fast break. As Wheatley gets the wide open look at the hoop, and he puts it in. Give the assist to Cade Hagenberry. As the Wildcats are back in possession of the basketball. Klosterman crossing half court. Has the top of the key over to Aiden. He'll take a three-pointer from the left wing. It's good. Aiden Klosterman knocks down the 3. Puts him in double figures with 12. 79-36 our score. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kurt has a high post. Loses it momentarily. Gets it back. Now Austin Hilmer, wide open look for 3 is going to be good. It rattles home. as he puts in the long-range triple. He's got 21. Lynx lead at 82-36. Klosterman over to Aiden Klosterman, left wing, top of the key to Arthur. Now Shellhorn, right wing, dribbling to his left. Now has the top of the key over to Benson on the left wing, guarded by Kurt. Back to Matthew Klosterman, top of the key. Hoggenberry's playing the defense there. Wild shot on the way is no good, but Benton goes up and gets it and puts it back. Benton seriously got up on that one. Looked like he could have dunked it if he wanted to. Hilmer is going to have a pull-up mid-range jumper go through as he gets another bucket to go. And it's 84-38 with a minute 15 to go in the third. Matthew Klosterman crosses half court for Central City. Guarded by Hoggenberry. Over to Arthur, right wing, dribbling downhill. Kicks it over to Benson. He'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. He knocks it down as he's in some pain after he makes the shot, however. Hope he's all right there. He's got 10. Down court pass to Tate Hoggenberry is good. Long down court pass. As gets the bucket to go. Jason Rose is going to enter the game for Central City for the first time, the 6'2 freshman. As Benton will leave the game with that ankle injury. Hopefully he's all right. Key player for Central City, so don't want to see anything happen to him, of course. Or anybody for that matter. Klosterman has the top of the key. Fakes a pass and gives it to Arthur, right wing. Now over to Rose, left wing. Thinks about a three. Top of the key to Aiden Klosterman. His pass is going to be tipped by Kurt. Ends up back with Klosterman. Attacking downhill once again. Over to Shellhorn, right corner. Fakes a three. Attacking baseline. Skips it over to Jason Rose, left corner. He thinks about a three. And now he'll pick up his dribble. Some pressure comes. Hands it over to Arthur. And Arthur's pass back to Rose does get there. Aiden Klosterman has the top of the key. Fakes a three. Back to Rose in the right corner. Back to Matthew Klosterman on the right wing. Guarded by Kurt. 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Double team comes for Klosterman. Over to Rose, out of bounds. Rose couldn't handle the pass, as it'll be out of bounds, and that will probably end the quarter as the running clock continues. Austin Hilmer pulls up for a three-quarters court shot. He leaves it well short. And that will be the end of 3 quarters of basketball here from Central City. Our score, North Linn 86, Central City 41. So while we've got a timeout here, I'll give a shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is everywhere you are. With our online and mobile banking apps, you have your account at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. Check your balances, pay bills, transfer money, and find Heartland Bank locations with just a touch. Bank on the go at hbtbank.com. Member FDIC. So Lynx leading this one 86-41 with just a quarter to play. As the Wildcats have put up 41 points on the board. They have been led by Aiden Klosterman with 12. Makai Benson has 10. Matthew Klosterman with 8. Then also Braden Rickles has 4. Marcus Shellhorn has 3. Jaden Hansen and Lucas Greif both with 2. Both teams back out there to start the fourth quarter. Lynx will have it. For the Wildcats, it's the Klostermans, Benton, Shellhorn, and Rickles. Good to see Benson's ankle is okay. For the Lynx, it's the Hoggenberries, Wheatley, Kurt, and Hilmer out there for North Linn. Hilmer crosses half court to begin our second half. He has the top of the key, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Trying to get downhill, does so, puts it up with his left hand, it's good. Tough finish inside by the senior guard. He's got 25. Klosterman top of the key over to Rickles, into the corner to Benson. He'll take a three-pointer from the right corner. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Hilmer as he's running in transition for North Linn. Jump stop, goes up with it, it's no good. Gets his own rebound, that putback's no good. Rebound by Hoggenberry. He goes back up with it, he lays it up and in as Tate Hoggenberry gets the basket to go. As by my count, he's got 30. Quite the game for the 6'4 junior. Klosterman uses a screen, dribbling to his left, trying to get downhill. Goes up with it, loses it. We've got a foul before that happened, though, as we'll see who they assign the foul to. Will be on the floor, and that'll be just the second team foul against the Lynx. Official now goes over to the scorer's table to make the indication, and it appears that it was on 23 Dylan Kurt. That is the case. That's his second. Team foul number 2. Rickles will throw it in underneath the Wildcat basket. Gets it into Shellhorn down low. Over to Klosterman, top of the key. Matthew pulls up for a mid-range jumper. He gets it to go off the front of the rim, off the glass, and through the hoop. As he's got 10. Wildcats trail at 90-43. Austin Hilmer's going to take a three-pointer from the left wing. It's no good. Rebound fought for. Ends up in the hands of Hoggenberry. Takes one hard dribble. Goes back up with it. It's good. as Tate Hoggenberry has 32. It's 92-43 with 6:20 to play. Lynx about to go to their bench as 5 new come over to the scorer's table. Shellhorn has it right corner, now top of the key to Klosterman. Benton has the top of the key now, fakes a mid-range jumper. Now he will take the mid-range jumper. His shot's going to be no good. It rattles around the rim. Kurt pulls down the rebound. Kick ahead pass to Hoggenberry. What a pass by Dylan Kurt. Hoggenberry can't finish down low. Pass is tipped out of bounds right into the hands of Hoggenberry, who is standing out of bounds. So that'll be Wildcat ball as 5 in, 5 out for the Lynx. Gunnar Van Orny, Tate Collum, and Mason Beschen re-enter, while it looks like Brecken Beatenbender as well as Ty Fluhop making their first appearances in tonight's game for the Lynx. No subs for the Wildcats as Klosterman crosses half court. There will be some here at the next dead ball as players start heading over to the scorer's table. Rickles attacking down low. Pass is tipped out of bounds by Fluhop. It'll remain with the Wildcats. Lucas Greif and Jaden Hansen going to re-enter for Central City. They will replace Rickles and Shellhorn, who go over to the bench for the Wildcats. 5:15 to play, 92-43 our score. Inbounds pass goes to Matthew Klosterman. He's guarded by Beschen. Does his turnaround move, now gives it over to Hansen. Back to Klosterman, right corner. Klosterman looking to get downhill. Pull up mid-range jumper on the way from Klosterman's too short. Left it off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Beschen. Running in transition is Beschen. Goes up with the layup. He goes coast to coast and puts it through the hoop. His second bucket of the night. He's got 4. Lynx lead at 94-43. Matthew Klosterman holding it top of the key. Down low to Benton, but it's off the mark as Benton couldn't get there. Couple subs here for Central City as Jason Rose will re-enter alongside Max Arthur. We also have Troy Curtis making his first appearance in tonight's game for Central City. Exiting for the Wildcats will be, looks like the Klostermans as well as Benson. Fluhop has it right wing for the Lynx, top of the key to Beschen. Hands it off to Collum right wing, thinks about a 3. Attacking downhill, now Van Orny top of the key. Over to Collum in the left corner. He'll take a 3-pointer. He can't get it to go off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Fluhop. His putback attempt is good as Ty Fluhop, the 6'2 sophomore, puts his name in the scoring column with his first bucket. It's 96-43, 4 minutes to go. Hansen attacking, hands it over to Curtis. He gives the top of the key to Arthur. Attacking downhill, nice take by the freshman. He puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by, that is Trey McEnany in the game for the Lynx. Beschen top of the key over to Collum. He'll take a 3-pointer. On the way is going to be no good off front of the rim. Rebounded by Rose. As Arthur will bring it up for Central City. 3.5 to go in the final quarter of play. Hansen has it right wing. Over to Rose, top of the key. Guarded by Van Orny. Picks up his dribble. Now he's in some trouble. Hands it over to Greif. He's guarded by Van Orny on the switch. Now it's Hansen has the top of the key. Looking to get downhill. Over to Rose, right wing. Back to Arthur on the top of the key. Guarded by Fluhop. Curtis has it now. And top of the key to Greif. Greif attacking, has it poked loose. Van Orny comes up with the steal. Van Orny running in transition. It's 3-on-3. He goes up with the layup. It's going to be no good, but he is fouled on the floor. So it will stay with the Lynx. Foul is going to go against the Wildcats. We'll see who they whistle for the infraction that time as David Munyakazi will make his first appearance in tonight's game. The 6'1 junior heads over to the scorer's table. That foul went against Max Arthur, his first team foul, number 3. We also have Dayton Price checking into the game. The 6'2 sophomore getting some playing time here in the closing minutes of this game. Inbounds pass goes to Fluhop. Now over to Van Orny, top of the key. He'll take a straight-on 3-pointer. Wide open 3 from Gunnar Van Orny is good. As he enters the scoring column, his first bucket of the night. It's 99-43, 2.5 minutes to go. Arthur attacking the hoop over to Rose, left wing. He'll take an open 3-pointer. It's going to be no good. Nice rebound by Munyakazi, but he can't secure it. It's still loose. It's Van Orny, long down court past the column. Pump fake gets 2 Wildcats in the air, and he puts the bucket through. He's got 7 points. Quite an assist there from Van Orny. As Rose came down funny when he was jumping up to try to block that shot. They're going to have to help him over to the bench as Lucas Greif will re-enter the game. Clock stops for the injury with 2:09 to play. It's 101-43 as Rose will come out of the game. Walking under his own power, but definitely a significant limp there. Hope he's all right. Inbounds pass goes to Arthur. 2 minutes to go in the game. 101-43 as Arthur crosses the timeline, guarded by Fluhop. Gives it over to Price, into the corner to Curtis. He'll take a 3-pointer from the left corner. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Fluhop as he'll hand it over to Beschen. Beshin over to Collum. Thinks about a three. Now attacking down low. Gets past his defender. Puts it up. It's going to be blocked out of bounds by Price. Curtis was in there to help as well. It'll remain with the Lynx, as it's going to be Fluhop throwing it in for North Linn. Gets it into Van Orney in the left corner. Now over to Beshin. Left wing. Thinks about an open three. Now he's going to try to get downhill. Over to Fluhop. Takes a couple hard dribbles over to Van Orney. He'll take a straight on three-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rattles around the rim and out. Rebounded by McEnany. His putback attempt is no good. Rebounded by Fluhop. And he can get the putback to go and the foul, as Ty Fluhop gets his second bucket of the night. It's 103-43, as we'll have 5 in, 5 out here for the Lynx. Into the game for the Lynx, we've got Brecken Beatenbender, Jake Van Etten, as well as Ty Fluhop will stay in the game at the free throw line. Also have Grant Reckhammer coming in and Cole Griffith. The Lynx emptying the bench as the free throw's no good. Rebound picked up by the Lynx, but it's secured by Price after it's tipped around. Greif will bring it across half court for Central City. As Greif kicks it out to Price. Dayton Price is going to take an open look from three. It's going to be no good off back iron. Rebound tipped around, picked up by Arthur. His putback attempt is good, but we had a foul on the floor, so it will not count. As we're under a minute to go and counting with the running clock, as Drew Rees will come into the game for North Linn. Believe that empties the bench for the Lynx as Fluhop will exit. Every player of the Lynx extensive bench has seen playing time tonight. Inbounds pass goes to Arthur. Of course, that's true for the Wildcats as well. Arthur loses it, goes to the ground with it. Now gives it over to Greif. He'll look to get downhill. Nice take by Lucas. Puts it up. It's no good. Rebounded by Reckhammer. He'll give it over to Griffith, and the 5'9 freshman will bring it up for the Lynx. Gives it over to Beatenbender. Thinks about a three. Now Griffith top of the key. Three-pointer on the way from Rees is going to be no good. Rebounded by Arthur. He'll bring it up for the Wildcats with 20 seconds to go in the game. Arthur crosses the timeline, guarded by Beatenbender. Goes behind his back. 10 seconds to go in the game. Greif top of the key. Over to Price. He'll bring it back out. 5 seconds and counting. Greif thinks about a three, and over to Curtis. Wildcats look content to just hold it out for the rest of the game, and that is going to do it. Our final score, North Linn 103, Central City 43. So a tough night for the Wildcats as the girls fall 76-47 and the boys fall 103-43 to these North Linn Lynx. The Lynx are ranked third in the state for boys for a reason. Great showing from the Lynx. Some final numbers from tonight's game. Tate Hoggenberry led all scorers. He finished with 32. Austin Hilmer had 25 for North Linn. Dylan Kurt had 11 to join double figures, as did Kate Hoggenberry. He had 10. Ben Wheatley had 7 for the Lynx, as did Tate Collum. Ty Fluhop and Mason Beshin both had 4. Gunnar Van Orney had 3 to round out the scoring for the Lynx. For the Wildcats, they were led in scoring by Aiden Klosterman, who finished with 12 points. He was followed by Matthew Klosterman and Makai Benton. Both had 10. Braden Rickles and Marcus Shellhorn had 4. And Lucas Greif and Jaden Hansen both had 2. So the Wildcats fall to a very talented North Linn team by a final of 103-43. They'll be back in action on Friday when they hit the road over to Springville to take on the Orioles at Springville High School this Friday. Girls tipping off at 5:30. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight from Central City High School. One more time, final score in the boys game, North Linn 103, Central City 43. So thank you very much to everyone who tuned in and listened in to tonight's broadcast of Wildcat basketball. We'll be back on the air this Friday from Springville for the Wildcats matchup against the Orioles. Tip-off is 5:30. We'll be on the air right around 5:20 to bring you Wildcat basketball. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening in to Wildcat basketball. Until next time, I'm David Warrington saying good night and go Cats.